Just give me a second. Does everybody hear that?
Yep.
Very cool.
And I just adjusted the volume down on my end a little bit because it was a bit loud. So
Okay.
if you guys are having that problem, don't forget you can do that.
How do you do that?
You right-click Groovy on the left,
Ah,
the bar on the left.
yeah. User volume, I see it. Thank you.
Yep. So, everyone here ready to start?
I should be good.
Perfect. So first of all, do you guys want to recap last session? I know it was a while ago.
Last session, hold on. Did we find the lady? We were trying to convince the lady to switch rings. Was that last session?
Yeah.
That was last session.
Cool.
And Shay did that
Yeah.
successfully. We gave our kids alcohol. I think we went home
Only give
and
kids alcohol.
they got alcohol.
Yeah.
And then I think we went home and then we had our opening, but first Liv was like, somebody was here, and then we played charades for a bit, and then we opening night was going well, and then the owner of the rival tavern in our district came in, and then so we had a lovely conversation, and then we did a charm person, and then we took him to the basement and then threatened his life. And then he just left. So I think that's where
I think one more thing that happened in there, after the parade, you guys also got another job from Zentarum on the same day.
oh yeah.
You had some potions to deliver.
Oh, yeah.
You waited all fucking day.
Yep.
I remember that.
Alright, so that is a good recap. You guys get a point of inspiration to use during the session. And now, before we formally start, I want to say that this session might be a little bit rougher technologically, and I suspect this is also potentially why we had problems with Rue joining, because I updated to a newer version of Foundry, which I've been putting off doing because it was a big update that you need to uninstall everything and re-download it. So with that, a lot of new functional features are in Foundry, and also I downloaded some new modules that didn't exist for previous versions, or that I didn't feel like downloading for previous versions. The biggest one of which is on the left bar. You will all see a little calendar icon. This is probably the biggest change to gameplay that you guys will see.
Wow.
And so I imported the calendar. Every date that has a little notification thing has some event on it. You can see today is Chess 23rd, and tomorrow will be the Bounty of the Sea Festival, the following day is the Shipwrights Ball, so on and so forth.
Wait, where is that
You
icon?
give us calendar management in our fantasy role-playing game.
That's crazy.
Rue, that is on the bar on the left.
On the left.
There's a little icon.
Oh.
Looks like a calendar.
I see it.
Question is, I like this because I like Google Calendar and I like having a calendar, and so even though this is for chess, this is good for me. This is good.
Yeah, and I filled out all of the holidays that there will be, at least for the rest of the spring, I believe, or for most of spring. So that is what you can see in there. So yeah, that's the first of a few gameplay changes that you guys might notice. Other than that, I believe we're ready to start. So as the calendar indicates, the day is currently Chess 23rd. It is an overcast day. But the North Ward is no less bustling than it normally is, especially during a week-long festival. So there's people coming in and out. Your tavern is quite busy. Last night was the night when, all of that happened. Your grand opening was a few days ago, so by now things have settled down a little bit into a consistent stream of patrons. And it's a pretty nice day, especially a nice day to be inside in a tavern. Particularly, there's a few notable people in here. Most notable is Renair. Renair is here today.
Is that our
And
elf
around
friend?
you, Renair Neverember is the dude who was kidnapped that you saved.
Oh,
Yep.
right.
He's the one that's less attractive.
Right.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He's the one that's less attractive,
boy.
but also of actual noble blood. But yes,
Yeah.
less attractive. And also the one whose dad has
Yeah.
500,000 gold dragons hidden somewhere.
We bought that key, right? Somebody bought that key?
Yeah, I think we have the key.
Okay. Well,
Okay, so it's a pretty normal day in the tavern. What's everybody doing?
I'm
I'd like
probably-
to just like kind of out of nowhere, immediately, like with a lot of what seems like I'm
Is
in
the rest
distress.
frozen for anyone else?
Bar, push people's drinks
Oh,
off,
okay.
and then
What was that?
huh?
What did you say, Ruth?
What is the question?
Did you say someone was frozen for you?
Me?
I thought Worth said someone was frozen. Are you there, Worth? We might have lost Worth.
Oh no.
Well, for now, I suppose we shall continue, and presumably Worth will rejoin us at some point. So, yes, what were you saying, Russ?
I'd like to open or raise my hands, and a small dimensional portal opens, and then sharks out a fishman with legs. It kind of like flops on the bar and starts knocking people's drinks over, and that's my
Yeah.
familiar Ferens.
Hi, friends.
So Farron's just kind of stumbles around on the counter, has some trouble, falling over, standing up, figuring out that he has legs. Of course, they are humanoid legs, very small and attached
Like
to a fin.
unshaven, hairy-ass human legs, yeah.
Yes. The other patrons find this a little bit disturbing, but
That's
for the
fine.
most part, go back to doing what they were doing.
Matilda's probably in the room hanging out with the kids, and she sees this and runs over to Ference and introduces him to Sybil and
Aw.
lets them hang out. And Sybil just kind of sniffs him a little bit and skitters around him.
Ferens just is confused. He was just shot out of a portal. He doesn't know what's going on. He's
That's fair.
but he can breathe. He doesn't understand. He didn't have legs before. Now he does.
Sybil just claps for him. Gives little
Ren
mousy
is
claps.
just drinking, probably unbothered by the new fishman. Just like, yep.
So as you guys are going about your business in the tavern here, I'll say Worth that Ren is drinking with Renair right now.
Oh, we're buds.
Yeah, Renair is definitely keeping you company at the moment. And Renair is he's expectantly looking towards the door. It looks like he's waiting to meet up with someone.
Also, I don't know if I'm supposed to be on the map, but I am 89% of the way there, so
Oh,
I'm
wow.
in limbo. Yep.
Yeah, it's
and
fine. Right now we're just in the tavern. It's
Alright.
not.
Just
Something
figured I'd let you
significant.
know. It's been a bumpy ride.
So yeah, Renair is currently looking towards the door every now and then, but for the most part, he's sitting here drinking.
Do I notice that he's doing that?
Make what's your passive perception?
Passive perception is 12.
He's not trying to hide it, so I'll say sure.
Okay. If that's the case, I'm probably gonna waddle on up over to him and sit next to him and say, "Is there something on your mind?"
Yes, I'm expecting an acquaintance, I suppose. He would very much like to meet you all, so I told him to come here.
Oh.
What's this acquaintance? Who's that?
Our relationship is complicated.
Mm.
You know of my
One
father.
of your boyfriends?
Oh. I assure you he is not one of my boyfriends. You know of my father. My relationship with him has been rather strained. He sent Dalakar here to watch over me, I suppose, and frankly, the little gnome's not very good at it. I see him all the time. Until about a week ago, when as this conversation is happening, all of a sudden, the tavern shakes, and a flash of light comes from outside as for a second. Absolutely catches Renair's attention, and everyone else in the tavern. They look over to the windows. It seems, of course, to have come from outside.
Matilda scurries on over to that window to check it out.
Yes, so being at the window, you can see out the front of your store and to the left, there are like 11 bodies
Oh,
just on the
Hey.
ground.
are they dead
Dead
or just?
bodies?
Yeah.
Yes, dead bodies.
No, living bodies.
And you also, you don't see this at first, but before long you hear, in a familiar little voice, "Help! Help!" It's Jenks.
Aw. I'm gonna run out and check it out. I'm gonna check out if I can find my little boy.
Yeah, Ren's gonna finish his drink and then
He's gonna
shuffle
finish his
on
drink
out.
first.
Yeah. I just down it in one go, though. Like, just like throw it back.
Okay, sure.
Who's Jenks?
Jenks is one of your urchins.
It's
Oh
one of our
fuck.
kids.
Okay. I was gonna start looting dead bodies, but I'm going to the kid.
Yeah. So you guys exit. It's a pretty horrific scene out here. Renair follows you out, of course. People are starting to crowd around. We're gonna activate this scene.
No.
Oh, you can't see anymore, huh? Worth.
No, it's okay.
Oh,
I
you're-
never passed 89%, so now I'm at 33.
Wow. It tells me that you're not even in here.
Yep.
Do you want to try refreshing, or would you like me to reload?
I'm in limbo right now.
All right.
Coming back.
So yeah, this little circle down here is where all of that is. For you, Worth, it's just,
Oh, I'm
20 feet away from Lift's ghost. The tavern, not the ghost, And so, as you guys get closer, you see that it really is a scene out here. There's a dozen or so dead bodies lying on the ground, and leaning against this building here, close to the blast, is Jenks with Nat in his lap, and she is unconscious.
Uh-oh!
Oh boy.
Death saving throw unconscious?
Huh?
Death saving throw unconscious?
Unconscious. Make a
Right.
medicine
Oh, shit.
check.
Okay.
I'm gonna shuffle over, and by shuffle I mean book it.
Yes.
And I'm going to book it over, and I'm going to, like, 90% sure it's prepared. Yeah, cure wounds. I'm gonna cure wounds there.
All right, go for it.
Wait. 6. +4, I think. Damn.
All right, so 10 points of healing is easily enough to get Nat back up to full. She kind of, and as she opens her eyes and gets an idea of her surroundings, her eyes widen and she kind of frantically looks around. She was just caught in a fireball and then dead for a second, so
God.
she's not feeling great. She kind of stumbles back and grabs onto Jenks, who's there.
I'm gonna go to pick her up, just like put my arms out.
Yeah, she'll let you pick her up.
Alright, I'm just gonna pick her up and just like, like bouncing a kid. You just holding him and be like, "This is what I'm doing now."
Yeah.
You said there's like 12 people dead, or dozens?
Yeah. There's about 12 people, and now that you're closer, you count them. It's 11.
Okay.
I'd like to slip into the bathroom and then come out as my favorite detective, Detective Hodgepodge,
Okay.
to examine the scene.
Okay.
AKA loot the bodies, but do it in a way that people might get less suspicious of it.
Okay.
You said it was a fireball. Is that like clear?
Yes, it's very clear. There was
Okay.
Things around are burnt. There are a bunch of people watching around who saw firsthand, and they are very quick to tell everyone who will listen that there was a huge fireball that came out of nowhere.
Actually, could I do an investigation check to try and get like trajectory or something like that, just see where it came from?
Yeah.
How do you want to investigate that? Do you want to look at the impact, or do you want to ask people?
I'll start by asking people.
All right, that is going to be a mixed check, a charisma investigation check. So what you're going to do is see on your sheet where it says investigation, next to it there's a little box with int inside it.
Yeah.
Click that int, change it to cha.
Cha.
Change it to cha.
Can I use Ference to give me the help action?
How does Ference help you ask these people?
You know, like police dogs? He's my police fishman with legs.
Okay, I don't think police dogs particularly help with interrogation.
I just mean to get them, to make them think I actually am a police person, so they're more likely to answer correctly.
You're lucky I don't give you disadvantage for trying to use your fish with legs to convince them you're a real police officer.
He sniffs drugs. He knows what he's doing. He gives the drugs to me afterwards, but he does sniff them. So, is it just a flat roll?
Straight roll, yes.
Oh, damn. Okay. That's a 15.
Alright, 15. Also, if you want to change your investigation back to int, in case we're going to use it in the future.
Cool.
Yeah, with the 15, you can ascertain pretty easily. You get a few people. Most of them are just kind of stunned that this happened. A few of them are very upset. They were just walking down the street with their friend, and now their friend is dead, so they're not feeling great about it. But before long, you find someone who tells you that. Hang on, let me find this. Where did this go? Wow. I completely lost that. Yeah, so you find some people, they say that, the first time you hear it, it sounds like, just something that's someone kind of made it up, or they just imagined it because it sounds weird and dumb and doesn't make any sense. They say that there was a mechanical person on top of one of the roofs nearby that hurled something down and it exploded. And the first time you don't really believe them, especially because it's kind of this scraggly old man, very much doesn't look like he belongs in this part of the city. But as you continue asking people, you hear that story a few more times, and it seems to be true. And in fact, you get a more detailed explanation that this was a robotic creature that, made of bronze and wooden plating for the body, with some exposed bits of mechanicalness on them, clicking gears and stuff. And this one was, it was wearing a red cape and a big hat with a feather in it, and had this, like, beard and mustache.
Does that match the description of the one we saw in the parade?
For bringing it up, I will say it does not match the description. The one you
Okay.
saw in the parade wasn't wearing that, didn't have a beard, but you can probably ascertain that it's almost the same description except for those details.
Okay.
So, is it the same sort of beard and hat Volo has?
No, not even remotely.
Okay. I thought there might actually be a counterfeit Volo running around besides me, so I just, yeah.
You got excited. We gotta
Did.
team up. We gotta team up.
Just destroy that man. Okay, yeah, I tell the other two, obviously, what I've learned about the mechanical man.
Okay.
While this is all happening, I probably just take Jenks by the paw and lead him back into the tavern to make sure that Jenks and Nat are just like in the house, in the tavern, inside.
Okay.
Bring Nat inside too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Squidly has also appeared by now, who was around the corner, didn't know any of this was happening. Yeah, you take all three of the children inside. They all, I mean, Squidly looks fine, but Jenks and Nat, have these kind of singe marks on their face a little bit. Jenks didn't actually take any damage, but he was close enough to the blast, and, Nat was dead.
Is Patrick there? Is Patrick inside working?
Yes, Patrick is
I'm
working.
gonna yell at Patrick to clean up the kids and make sure they're okay.
Okay.
While I go investigate robot crime.
All right. Also, by this point, Renair has come out, and he goes up, he looks around, and picks out one of the dead bodies, a gnome, and says, Dalakar. He kneels over him and tries to see what's happening.
That was your friend? I'm gonna investigate Dalakar's body and see if he's like dead.
Yeah, I'd like to do the same.
Okay. That would be a medicine check if you want to determine how alive he is, how dead or alive.
Worth, what's your? Are you gonna let both of us do it?
I'll say one of you make a medicine check to see how alive he is, one of you make an investigation check to see what he's got on him.
Okay, I'll do investigation.
We were rolling great.
Yeah, we did really good.
A 10 and a 7.
Sorry, what was the medicine check?
14.
14.
So 14, yeah, this guy's dead for sure.
Oh, okay.
He's all the way dead. With a... Did you roll perception, Matilda?
You
What?
said investigation.
I did say investigation. I'll take the perception roll, though. That works as well.
Do you want me to roll perception?
You rolled perception.
I rolled investigation.
Oh, no, this is the last roll that was in here from last session. Right. So you rolled physical dice?
Yes, I rolled them in
Gotcha.
in
Okay.
Foundry, yeah.
You rolled them in Foundry?
Yeah. It's coming up
didn't
for
show
me.
up for me.
It says investigation. My investigation roll
Showed up
comes
for me as well.
Yeah, me too.
Huh. Well, why don't you tell me what your roll was
It was a 7.
for now? It was a 7?
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, with a 7, it's, you don't get much. He's a dead guy with stuff that dead guys have,
Yeah, I mean, I can also, I'm assuming, like, what do my eyes see? Like, is he got ash on him, like without even working on it? Like what do I just see, like with my eyes? Like describe this man to me.
I mean, he's a gnome. He seems kind of scraggly. Most of his clothes have been charred. He was caught, you know. I will also say, it's pretty easy to ascertain that he's quite close to the center of the blast. So there really wasn't any chance for him.
Yeah, okay. Is
What is this?
is Rainier standing with us?
Yeah, he is.
I'm gonna ask him, if he's ever seen anything like this happen.
No, never before. Dalekar just... I got a note saying that he wanted to meet up, and... I told him... He said he needed help getting out of the city. I sent a message back to tell him to meet me here, but... I didn't think he was in this much trouble.
Did he say why he needed help?
No.
Oh. Do you think that this could have been directed at him, or no?
I mean, he was involved with my father, and with the news about lately, I wouldn't be surprised if they thought he would help them get at the money.
Did I search his body? See if like he has anything that might tell us something?
Make an investigation check.
Okay. The 12 plus 1 second. 16.
Yeah, with a 16, I'll say, you see... Oh, I see your rolls now. There we go. With a 16, you can, Yeah, he doesn't have much on him, really. With a 16, I'll allow you that, something... He has already been searched in some way.
Did anybody
Besides-
report?
Yes.
Did anybody report, like, any of the witnesses report that somebody came down and looted this body? Like, the mechanical man, or...
Do you want to keep questioning witnesses? Nobody said anything yet.
I think that would be a good idea.
Okay.
I think. Are people sticking around? Like,
A few have left, but for the most part, people are sticking around.
okay, I'd like to yell. Nobody go anywhere with police investigation. Don't move so we can ask you questions. You sacks of shit. All right.
Make a persuasion check.
Do I get advantage because I'm playing a character?
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Also, it might be a deception check.
Jesus,
Yes.
I rolled a 1 and a 3.
Very...
Oof.
Well,
I'm
Good
gonna
day
say
for
it was
me.
a persuasion check because they don't have any reason to disbelieve that you are a police officer.
That's a 6 and an 8 then.
Yeah, so you probably didn't convince anybody who wasn't already gonna stay.
Yeah, looks like it.
Do you want to keep questioning folks?
Yeah, although I do think one of us should probably go check out the rooftop where the dude was.
Yeah, I was actually just gonna say that. I think Matilda's probably gonna do that after she got the kids back.
Okay. So it was, this building right here, which, I believe is just a home. Yeah, that the Nimblewright was on top of. That's what these creatures are called, in case I haven't said it already. They're Nimblewrights.
Nimblewrights? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I am checking out the source of the fireball, from whence it came.
Alright, so there's no way to get up onto the roof. How are you getting up there? It's the 3-story building.
I mean, I don't know if you'll allow this, but I am a possum person.
Right, I forgot you have a climbing speed.
Yeah,
yes,
so I
you can get up there no problem.
Yeah, I can just climb on up there with my little baby possum claws.
Yeah. I completely forgot that I gave you one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get up there. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Investigation. Oh my god, it's a 3.
I still can't see your rolls. I might have to fix that.
Alright, just kidding, it's a 20.
Nat 20, oh my god.
Wow.
I'm also looking. It's a nat 20.
Wow, perfect. Yeah. So, with a 3, you don't find anything.
Okay.
So the witnesses said it was something was thrown, so it wasn't a magical fireball.
The witnesses did say something was thrown.
Before I
it's
start
still
talking to them,
confirmed.
could I do like an Arcana check to see if it was a fireball of magical origin?
Please do.
Thank you. Hopefully I roll better this time. Can I have Ference give me the help action by sniffing the ground?
Aw.
Ference is a magical creature.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll allow it. I'll be
He was
generous
just
to
sharted
DM
out
for
of
this
a
one.
portal. He knows about magic and stuff. Okay, that's a 17 plus 6, so 23. Finally, good
All right.
rolls.
With a 23, it was definitely a magical fireball. And also with a 23, I'll say it was not cast as a spell. It was cast through a magic item.
Do I know anything
even-
about Nimble?
Yes?
Nimble boys?
Nimble rights.
Nimble rights? Do I just know anything about them from being around in the city? Like, are they common around here?
Make a history check.
Okay.
Also, Russ, with Shay's 23, I'll say not only do you know that this was probably caused by a magical item based on descriptions and the impact that it left, but with a 23 and, since you're good at Arcana, you're actually aware of a specific magic item that causes fireballs. It's a necklace of fireballs. They have little red beads on them, and if you tear off a bead and throw it, where it lands, it explodes.
Okay. I had another thought. It's gone.
I rolled
what's
an
your history
11,
check?
by the way.
An 11. No, you haven't heard of them besides, seeing the one in the parade, which you did.
Okay. So, to clarify, are you telling me that I don't know that much about them to know whether or not they are common in the city, or no, they are not common in the city?
You don't know that much about them
Okay.
to know whether they are common in
Okay.
the city.
Gotcha. If that is the case, then I would like to, since I rolled like garbage and don't know anything about the space that I just got into, I would also like to question the people who witnessed everything, and I would just like to, can I ask them if they know whether or not these dudes are like common around here? Like what they know about the fella that they saw, and more about those types of things.
Okay, make a charisma investigation check.
Okay, so I go to int and change it to cha.
Yep.
And that is a 5.
Man, really sucks that I can't see what you guys are doing. Really gonna suck if we get into combat at any point today. I'll look into a way to fix that later. Sorry, what was your total?
5, because my charisma is -1 and I suck at it.
With a 5, I will say that the person you find is a slightly injured human man who is kind of getting up and starting to leave. What do you say to him?
I say, Do you know, a lot of people are saying that the creature who threw the fireball is this nimble... What is it again?
Nimble right.
Nimble right. And I wonder if you know anything about the nimble rights, like perhaps if you have ever seen one before.
So, to clarify, Matilda does not know the word nimble right.
Oh, okay. If you have
Alistair is
seen...
using it for ease of reference.
Gotcha. So then she just says, robot guy.
Yes. This guy says, "Oh, well, only robot guy I saw was a mechanical angel of death."
Oh no, this
As
guy.
As I lay dying, that jumped down from the heavens and looked around the bodies. Man, I looked death in the eyes.
And what did you see?
Gears.
Gears.
A
Okay.
really cool mustache.
A
I slipped the
handlebar.
guy a coupon for one free drink. He's been through it.
Yeah. I'm gonna at this point take Rainier back into the tavern. He is probably shooketh. And I'm going to talk to him and just sort of reassure him and generally see if we agree that this was targeted onto his dwarf friend.
No.
No, yes, excuse me.
But yes, Renair absolutely. That is the conclusion that Renair has drawn.
Okay.
So,
I'm
that guy who saw death,
Yes.
after I slip him up, after a police officer of the law slips him a free drink for this specific bar coupon,
Yeah.
tell me, young man, he's old, right?
He's pretty. He's not old. No.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's a different dude. Okay. You mentioned an old guy before. Young man, where did death go?
He ran off that way. And points. He points this way. He points to the east.
Can I do a real quick insight check to see if, like, how much this guy is just, like, shaken and knows what he's talking about?
Sure.
Okay. That's a 3.
With a 3, this guy,
We're killing it.
We're
with,
doing
with
so
a 3,
good.
yeah, I mean, he's pretty shaken up. Obviously, he's, the type of guy to see a robot and assume it's an angel of death.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's, he's pretty shaken up. Not much more to say about him, I guess.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull Shay aside.
Yeah.
The detective.
It's a young man.
Yeah. What?
Don't worry about it.
All right. I'm gonna look at Terrence for a little bit, just like drunkenly stare at Terrence. All right.
His name
I
is
think.
Terrence, you
Oh,
bastard.
Terrence. God.
It stands for
because,
fish Terrence, so you're correct,
God.
but also wrong.
because. Why would I? You're right. Why would I say the name Terrence when that's a real name?
It's fish Terrence, because he's a
looked at
fish.
Fish Terrence deeply
Thank
in his
you.
cold, dead fish eyes, and then I'm gonna look back at the good detective.
Yeah.
I think we should So during the parade, there was that mechanical troupe. We should try to find them. They might know something. That might be one of theirs, or they might know why this attack was motivated, or they could even be behind it.
Okay, I like that idea. I could also, this is a real long shot, but I could attach a picture of what we think this mechanical dude looks like to Ference and send him down the alleyway. And underneath the man, it's written, "Have you seen me?" And just hope people point him in the direction.
How good can we draw? What role would that be, Alistair? To draw a picture of this robot man that none of us have seen.
I would call it painter's supplies. I don't think any of you have proficiency with painter's supplies.
Yeah.
The only thing that even vaguely references artistic inclination.
I have experience making dresses out of trash, though.
That's true.
That is true.
That is true.
We could paper mache of him.
Yeah.
And I have Crocs, so that should count for
Yeah.
something, right?
And I made those
Art
flyers.
goes like Crocs.
Like, I've made flyers before to promote the tavern.
That is true.
Sure, I'll we'll call it a performance check.
Do you want me?
Okay.
Do you want who do you want?
Who's
I will
drawing it?
give guidance to whoever chooses to draw it.
Do you want it to
Should
be
probably
me
be
since I did
Shay.
it before?
Wait, but wouldn't it be Matilda? Because Matilda has the crafting experience.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Alright, I'm gonna give you proficiency. Not proficiency, Christ. Guidance. You gotta-
Very good. So does that give me? What does that give me?
That is going to give you a. I'm gonna lean over your shoulder as you start to draw, and I'm gonna be like, you know, if you press harder, you can make the lines thicker. That's my dad advice. You get a +3.
Yay!
Nice.
So is that a performance, Alistair?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my god!
Did it.
Why do I roll like garbage?
I really wanted that to be a nat 20 so bad.
Oh,
Like, so bad.
it's just a stick figure. I'm sorry, guys.
Good enough.
And underneath, I just write Robot Man in really bad handwriting.
Rue,
Okay.
you could have said you got a nat 20 and we would have backed you up.
True.
He can't see it.
Except I can reload and see it, which I do.
No. No.
Alright, so, yeah, this flyer doesn't come out particularly evocative of any actual creature that exists.
Looks great.
Cool.
Alright.
Cool.
Have you seen this man?
Can it just say Robit underneath, like R-O-B-I-T? Robit?
You robot. Actually,
it's-
if you guys are, what did Shay say that they're doing?
I'm
Oh.
attaching it to Ference, and if Ference has to roll investigation, just know that is a -5 to investigation, so...
Okay,
This is really dumb.
I feel like Matilda recognizes that she did bad. Can she go with Ference and talk to people with as she hands out these horrible pictures?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, she's just gonna accompany little fish, this legged fish, and speak to people with her words while showing them her awful drawing.
Okay, I'm going to have you make a charisma investigation check.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you advantage because you got a 0 on the
Damn
performance.
it.
check.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, so this is like an actual
technically
mechanical
a
thing?
3 because of guidance, but also
Ooh,
a
a
0.
3. Yes.
But it
I
was a
got
nat
a
one.
15 investigation.
15, I'll say you catch one person who saw it. It shoved past them as they were over here. It shoved past them going the opposite direction of the fireball that had just happened.
Okay. Didn't see where he went.
Continued this way, but shortly lost him in the crowd.
I'm sorry, can you point to that place again on the map?
Continued down here.
Okay, gotcha. I'm just gonna follow that route then and see as I'm going if I can see any traces of him, like soot or robot stuff. I don't know.
Make an investigation check.
Investigation does.
Alistair,
Intelligence
So-
investigation.
Okay.
Yes?
real quick, if there is any issue, like if Matilda runs into any problems, could they communicate with me through Ference? Like, if they were like, I need help, would I be able to hear that?
You wouldn't be able to hear it, but Matilda could say something to Ference, and Ference, I believe, could send you a telepathic message.
Okay. Cool.
So effectively, yes.
Okay.
Do I know that I can do that?
I always err on the side of characters knowing each other's abilities, so yes.
Oh, that's
Okay.
lame. Who would DM like that?
Alistair just casually being like, just some intertextuality. In another universe, in another time, controlled by a different god. Choices would be made.
I rolled a
I was
4.
gonna say I didn't say anything, so if you had gone with no, then I would have been like, oh well.
Yeah.
I got a 4, by the way.
4 on what?
On I was
investigation check.
investigating
Yeah,
if
you
I
don't find anything.
Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna continue along as far as I mean, I guess I'm gonna just go straight for as long as I can. I guess until I get to here.
Yeah, so you go until you hit there.
The best detectives.
Here, there's a few stuff around. You know, you passed by some of the shops in the area. You've passed by Steam and Steel, which is the forge right here. You passed by the Bent Nail, which is a mostly furniture shop right here. And in this little square, there's a little sewer grate here, and it continues north, back up to the road here.
Alright. So I guess I just go as far as this fork here in this road. Do I run into anyone else or anything else that I see that is of interest until I get to this point?
Not particularly. Mostly just normal traffic.
Okay. Does Ference do anything while we do this? Can he?
Is Ference able to go through solid objects?
No.
Okay.
Why?
Ference tries to use his toes to pull up the manhole cover. Ference wants to go down into the manhole, but he just has toes, so he cannot do that.
I see what he's doing. Do I recognize what he's doing? I probably recognize what he's doing.
Did you
He
just
doesn't
ask
show
if
emotion, so
Ference-
he's blank faced throwing at a manhole cover.
I'll allow it.
I see that this is happening, and I agree, and I go into the sewers and I take him with me.
Okay.
We're the best
So first make
detectives.
a strength check to open the manhole cover.
Strength! That's my freaking bread and butter.
Hell yeah.
Watch me
Hell yeah.
fuck this roll up.
No, you got it, Rue. Don't even worry about it. Don't
You
even
rolled
worry.
so well, nothing will change that.
Don't even worry about it because
Oh,
we're gonna.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness, a 20.
A dirty 20. I just ripped that grape right off. I throw it into the sky. I just yeet it.
In America, throw it off some
You
walls
have a
and
very
catch it.
particular face right now.
Yeah, you definitely make it easy. Make it look easy that you opened it up.
Very good. I said very good.
Yes.
And so I'm getting into the sewer now. Do you want me to roll anything else? Like,
Well, what are you doing down there?
well, assuming we get into the sewer with no issue, I guess,
Yeah, you can get down easy.
yeah, okay. Once again, I'm looking for any trace of fireball, soot, or... Actually, do I have detect magic? Probably not. Almost certainly
No.
not. I'm looking for any sign that a robot has been down here.
So you don't have detect magic, but what you do have is speak with animals as a ritual spell.
Are there any animals down here?
There's rats.
Ah! My rats are my friends. Okay, I want to talk to the rats.
Okay. So we'll take 10 minutes to cast
Yeah.
speak with animals because you can only cast it as a ritual.
Okay.
So while
I'm
you're
not in
casting
any
that,
rush.
I'm gonna go back to Shay and Ren.
Mhm.
So
And just like-
what are y'all doing during this time?
Yep.
Robot Man, investigation time.
Do we want to go off to try to find this performance troupe while Matilda is currently in the sewers with your fishman?
Ference can take care of business. He's strong. He's tough.
He could not open a manhole cover.
He also literally cannot attack, and even if he could, his only attack does 1 damage.
Yes, he can attack. Thank you for never noticing.
No, he
sent a
cannot attack
creature.
because he's a familiar. Familiars can't attack.
Yeah, but
In
I
his
can
character
summon-
sheet, it says he can kick.
I know, that happens with all familiars. That's what Ference could do if he wasn't a familiar, or if you had a feature that let familiars take attacks. Ference
You're on
cannot
thin
attack.
ice. You're on thin ice, Alistair.
Wait, hold on, I want to
Description of the spell, Find Familiar, says your familiar cannot attack.
Also, Alistair, I really like that for the summon beast spell. The tokens are an owl.
Oh,
is
yeah.
and just a sheep.
Yeah,
A
it's
seal
goat.
and a sheep. I
It's
just
just a
like the
ram.
idea that
I
I'm
love
like,
it.
go, and just a sheep comes out, and I'm like,
Yeah.
perfect.
Mhm.
We got him. I should have sent that sheep with you guys. Never mind.
I think, doesn't it only last 1 minute?
I hope not.
Anyway, so, as you guys are talking about what your next move is, going to see if you can find that nimble right, a squadron of city guard and city watch officers appear and start cordoning off the areas. They post some guard officers at every exit from the alley, and a few investigators come around.
Should we could capitalize off this. We should invite them in. See it for lunch break inside. Except they have to pay us.
I start handing out flyers that say
No.
1 free sandwich with an order of 20 gold to the officers, and I still look like Detective Hodrodge.
Yeah, we should.
Are you
My
still...
favorite. Mhm.
So first of all, Detective Hodrodge, does he wear the very indicative colors of the City Watch?
No, he wears like a 1970s-esque detective, like trench coat, fedora, smoking a fat cigar kind of thing.
Okay. In that
Um,
case, you will have a harder time in the future convincing anyone that you are a member of the City Watch.
That is fine. Shay is a performer, and sometimes roles are harder than others.
Okay.
I understand that I could fully just impersonate a city guard member, but you know what? Hodrodge has his own life, and I don't want to disrespect that.
Impersonate a PI. PIs exist. There's one.
Oh, yeah.
There's
okay.
literally a shop down the street that is, where is it? Yeah, it's this one, the Tiger's Eye. This is a private investigator.
Shit.
Okay, yeah, I guess I didn't realize that. Yeah, I'll just say he's a PI. That works.
Cool.
Am I allowed to? Is that... Can I do
Yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Cool. Detective Rodrodge, Private Eyeball. What we got here, boys?
He's Yep.
This
So-
is my partner, old dad man.
I'm dead.
The
Don't
main
disrespect
two
your
folks that are coming around are a City Watch sergeant who's pretty tall, scraggly brown hair, looks like he's been at it a while. He has a little notebook that he's writing in, and he's walking around with a shorter humanoid, a shorter human who is wearing purple robes, and you recognize this individual as a member of the Watchful Order of Magists and Protectors, which are the pretentious magic people who like to think they protect the city.
I walk right up to the mage. I say, "You ever summon a familiar that's a fish with legs? I didn't think so, buddy. Get on my level." All right, what do we got here, boys?
Ren is standing really close by, prepared to cast guidance when this inevitably goes really poorly.
Who are you?
Detective Private Eyeball Hodrodge. I'm a detective, and my eyeballs are private.
Make a deception check with advantage.
Yes. Sorry, I need to pull up deception.
I love what makes Russ happy. It's like, yes, I am Private Eyeball.
26.
Yeah.
Don't look at my eyeballs.
I'm sorry.
Magic man with your big fancy robes, get on my level.
I'm afraid we cannot let members of the public in on our investigation. Now, if you'll
I
excuse
was
me.
hired 5 minutes ago to investigate this crime.
Well,
by this
I'm
dad.
afraid we're gonna have to ask you to leave, no matter what private individuals have paid other private individuals.
Look,
So there was a robot here, and then he left.
When you do that, the tall guy starts furiously writing in his book. He's
Yep. So
Yeah.
robot. He apparently had he got a really cool hat.
wait.
What?
You want our information. You're gonna have to. We need some. Fuck. You're gonna have to let
Let's
us in
work
on this
together on
investigation.
this.
If you want information, private confidentiality services.
In that case, we'll work on our own. Thank you very much.
Dickhead. All right.
Yeah, they go ahead and start interrogating the other people that are still around.
Well,
Job, detective.
thanks, Dad Man.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna circle back to them. Look, we got off on the wrong foot earlier. This is I work for a very important family, and I think it would be in everyone's benefit if we cooperated with each other.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Fair. Oh fuck! It would have been an 18, but it's a 9.
Yeah. No, thank you.
All right, dickhead. What's it called when you fart while you're walking by someone?
Oh my god.
Drive by, I think. Whatever it is, I do that to. As I head back to Ren. Detective Hodgepodge.
How'd it go, the detective?
Real bad. Just real bad.
Hold on, my cat is. What do you want? Oh, there he goes. Okay. We should, we gotta find this, mechanical troupe. I think. I don't remember their name, but that's probably for the best, because I'm.
It was a joint presentation of the Temple of Gond and the House of Wonders.
It was
Wonders?
Wanda's house and Gumpy's Blumpers, I think. You gotta get over there.
These blumpers, I know them well.
I'll say you guys know from your time in the city that the House of Wonders is a temple of all deities with magic in their portfolio, primarily Mystra. That is Mystra. And they are, they do a lot of magical and mechanical innovation there. The Temple of Gond is otherwise known as the House of Inspired Hands, specifically for Gond, who is the gnomish god of tinkering and, work mechanics. And they do much the same thing.
They're less likely to try and... I say we go with the House of whatever, because a gnomish god sending a mechanical guy to kill another gnome, I don't know. It's not impossible, but it feels less likely to me.
Cat? Yes. That works for me.
Oh yeah.
I think Rue's away from the computer.
I just got back. Sorry, I'm here.
Oh, serendipitous.
So I will say by now, by the time Shay and Ren are ready to leave to check out the House of Inspired Hands, You have completed ritual casting Speak with Animals.
Ah, yes. Uh-huh. Yes. If this is acceptable, I will find some rats. I mean, are there just rats like all over the
easily.
place?
There's rats around. It's a sewer.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to my little buddies and I'm gonna see, I'm gonna ask them, hello, friends. I am wondering if you have seen any robots around in the sewer or really any suspicious characters in general?
So in these seconds of trying to come up with what voice I'm gonna do for rats, the obvious choice was, high and squeaky. But I don't know if I can bring myself to not do a deep Russian accent. So what did you ask?
I basically asked if, first of all, if they've seen any robots specifically, but if you will allow me to also ask if they've just, seen any suspicious characters rummaging through the sewers or trying to get away or running really quickly or trying to be sneaky, anything like that.
I have not seen a robot, no, but south of here, there is a place that humans come frequently.
Can you lead me there?
So...
Do I have any, cheese in my pocket or something? Any food from the tavern? Can I say that I
Sure.
Okay. I just want to
Sure.
make friends with my little rat baby buddies. I'm gonna
Make an animal handling check.
Animal handling check? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Garbage. Absolute garbage. Trash. 5. I got a 5.
Yeah, he's pretty. Actually, he kind of gets offended that you offer him cheese.
I could have just not done anything and it would have been better. Can I have Sybil? Sybil, I mean, she's obviously probably I don't know, into the idea of talking to rats, and she just sort of runs up to the cheese and starts nibbling it and puts it in her mouth, says and gives a little nod to my little rat buddies and says yeah, it's good, don't worry about it, just so that they're not mad at me. They don't have to take it. I just don't want them to be offended.
All right, so shortly after this occurs, the rat takes you just a little bit south where there is another manhole cover that he says people come down into the sewers through frequently.
What kind of people come through here? Do you know? Can you describe them to me?
Weird ones.
Weird ones. Okay. Tell me, are they all different races?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do they have tattoos?
What's a tattoo?
Oh, it's a marking on the skin, how humans and creatures that are bipedal. Sometimes they have similar markings on the skin, a design.
What is the duration on Speak with Animals?
You gain the ability, blah, blah, blah.
I think it's 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah, it's 10 minutes.
Yeah, so he tells you that he still doesn't fully understand what a tattoo is, but he hasn't noticed any.
Okay. How many minutes would you say it has been, by the way?
Probably about 3.
Okay.
Also, DM is kind of desperately trying to get you to join back up with the rest of the party so that they can go do things.
Okay. I thank him and I give him a little scritch on his little chin, and I thank him and I say goodbye.
It eats him.
He seems to
Or
appreciate it.
tries to.
Okay. Is he offended anymore? Is he mad at me?
Not particularly.
Okay. Are we buddies?
Not particularly.
Okay. I'll try again later. Okay, I am gonna go and join the group, but first I would like to remove the manhole cover and just see where it leads to from the outside.
Okay, yeah, it's just a few streets south.
Can you actually point to it to me on the map?
It's farther south than this map goes.
Okay, gotcha. Can you tell me what buildings are around? Or
Drew does not know what buildings are
okay,
around.
no worries. That's okay. I Can I go join the group, but not through the sewer? Like, just I crawl out of the manhole cover and just go.
Yeah, I'll say you're familiar enough with the city and the ways of the city, especially with your background feature,
Okay.
that you can find your way back up there relatively quickly.
Okay, I just do that and I join the group, and that's what I do.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys are back together outside of Lift's Ghost. There's still people around. Actually, Matilda, as you try and get back to Lift's Ghost, you can only get to around here, and there are 6 City Watch officers here preventing you from coming in.
Alright, I guess I'm gonna talk to them. My charisma is nothing. Excuse me, officer? What is happening here? Why are you here in front of my home/business?
Well, there was an explosion.
She's gonna actually act like she doesn't know anything. Oh, an explosion. What happened?
Make a deception check.
Okay. Is it gonna be good? Okay. That's decent. 14.
With the 14, he says, there was an explosion.
Yes, I understand that, but do you know what caused the explosion?
I can't tell you that.
Of course not. Yes, I figured as much. Do I see like Hadraj or anything through the crowd of police officers?
Does she?
Wait a second. Not you. Yeah, I don't think. Can we just say that timeline-wise, this is like just after I crop dusting? That's the name for farting while you're walking by someone. After I crop dusted the city watch.
Did you look that up?
You catch some lingering stench, Matilda. That was unintentional. Victim of circumstance. But yeah, I think we're still there.
Okay.
In fact, are you guys headed out?
Yeah.
Probably.
Just
In that case, Matilda, you don't have to come in. They're coming to you.
Okay. So
Matilda, get away from these dickheads. They're no good.
Hey, don't talk about us that way.
What are you gonna cry?
As soon as I see
Aww. Aww.
Wait, can I cast? I want to cast. This is dumb, but I want to cast a silent image of, you know, like the classic like robber, like behind him, robber with like a bag with the big S on it and like the striped shirt and the mask and the black beanie. I just like, oh look, a criminal,
You're gonna
idiots.
spend a spell slot on this?
Yes,
One of your
I
3
will.
Spell slots. Okay.
Yeah,
Like a true spellcaster.
actually 2, because I did cast Find Familiar, so I'm down to
no,
1.
I always give whenever a character takes Find Familiar, I give them their first familiar for free without requiring a casting.
Oh, cool. Okay. But yes, I
That
am.
being said, though, you will need the material components for future castings. It will consume 10 gold each time you cast it.
Ugh.
In, incense and herbs and stuff that you have to burn as
Right.
part of the ritual.
Okay.
So yeah, you cast that silent image of a stereotypical robber. And you say it's behind him?
Yeah.
He doesn't notice at first. It's silent.
I'm like pointing. I'm like, look, a criminal.
Okay, he's gonna say, "Hey, you, get him!" And one of the other officers is gonna go for him and dive at him in a tackle, and just go right the fuck through.
Okay, the second he dives at him, I'm booking it out of there.
Ren's just gonna stand there. Ren's just like, yo, what's going on?
Josh is gone.
All right. So, yeah, that that happens. You, Detective Hodroj now has a reputation for antagonizing police officers. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So,
I like to think that this is what Russ would do in real life if Russ had spellcasting ability, would just show
almost
up
certainly.
and be like, "Hey, police!"
I'm not saying I would. I'm not saying I wouldn't. Leave me alone.
All right. So here you guys are on Sardown Street.
Do I join up with them? Am I able to?
Yeah, you're all together.
Okay.
You have the fish with you?
Yeah, my little buddy, both Sybil and Ference are
Right.
walking beside me.
So do you go straight to the House of Inspired Hands?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, oh, I can't move the token anymore. Why can't I move the token anymore? Weird. For the sake of brevity, I'm just gonna let me find it. This is it. Yeah, you're gonna keep coming down Dozoran Street for a while. Then up here. And then over to here. And this building is the House of Inspired Hands. Yeah, so here you are. It's you go inside. It's as soon as you go inside, there's a place of worship in the front, but the place of worship seems secondary to the workshops around you, from which you hear all manners of sounds of tinkering and hammers hitting and ratchets clicking. A gnome at every workstation. They all seem very intent on their work.
Do I know anything about this place from having lived here?
What do you want to know?
I guess. I guess I just want to know, like, the history of this place specifically, if I do know any of it, like, why it was built, how long it's been here.
Okay, make a history check.
History check? Okay. And once again, that is garbage. A 7.
Yeah, not really. I mean, you definitely know it's a gnomish place of worship, but
Okay.
other than that, there's not much to it as far as you're aware. A
Is
gnomish
Rainier-
place
is
of
Rainier with
worship
us?
and tinkering.
Sorry.
Did you want Renair to come with you?
I don't know. I'm just curious if he's with us or not.
If you didn't ask him to, he didn't come.
It probably would have been smart to bring him because potentially someone's trying to kill him,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
kidnap him or something.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I don't think we would have asked him though, realistically.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think so either.
No, so. Well,
Just looking around the workshop, are there finished automatons just about?
Yeah, I mean, not about and open and around that you could just look, they're all...
Right. But I want to know if they, if any of them had any sort of, like, the appearance of a personality, like wearing a beard or a hat or anything, or are they just, like, automatons?
Around you, all of them are automatons.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk up to... Is there anybody working on an automaton?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, I want to walk up to the nearest guy that's doing that.
Okay. Yes.
Hey, I have some questions.
Yes.
Alright. So, how do you, there was an attack up in the North Ward, by, reports are saying an automaton with a mustache, a beard, and some, a nice hat and a cape. Do you know anybody that makes accessories, mustache and beard like that?
Let me... He says, hold on. Sorry, he says, you might want to meet Nim. Garrick is his handler. I'll fetch him. So he disappears, goes back, and comes back with, just kind of appears in a doorway, beckoning you that way, where there's now another gnome with him.
I'm gonna start walking over there. Do we still have the piece of paper with the description?
Yeah, I have it in my pocket.
I'm gonna
I have
reach
it in
to
my
look
little-
at it.
Yeah, I pull it out of my little possum pouch, and I
Alright,
unravel it. It's all crinkled now, and
Mhm.
I very shamefully give it to Ren to show.
I like to think that Ren kind of like was like, oh, I bet Matilda, and then like looks at it and is like, wow.
Yeah.
And he's gonna stop and look at it as he's walking towards the door, and then look down and be like, look great.
Yeah.
Good job.
Matilda smiles a little bit, but she's just kind of looking at the ground, shuffling her little back paws.
Okay, so, do all three of you go over to, where they're beckoning you to?
Yeah.
Alright, they, first the new gnome introduces himself. He says, my name is Garrick, and, it has been my job to handle Nim. And they bring you into a large workshop back there, where working in the workshop, seemingly making little things, himself, is a Nimblewright. This Nimblewright, has spectacles on, even though he doesn't have eyes, and also has kind of feathers-ish as hair, made of metal.
Ren's gonna look at the picture that Matilda gave him, and then look back up at him, and then look back at the picture. Alright, this is Tim, you said?
Nim.
Nim.
He's a recent acquisition of ours. We actually didn't build him, but he's proven quite adept at building things himself.
So, if you didn't build him, who did, if it is polite for me to ask that?
Well, I don't know who specifically, but we bought him from Captain Zord.
Do I know who that is?
No, you do
Okay.
not.
Who is Captain
Well-
Sword? Oh,
Make a history check.
history? Okay.
There we go.
Oh, okay, cool. 16.
With a 16... No, you don't know Captain Zord.
Well, then I just ask, who's Captain Zord?
He, were you at the parade? Yes?
Yeah. We
I
saw
think
it.
you saw the man on the large bird?
Yeah.
That's Captain Zord.
Oh. What does he do? Like, what's his job?
He runs the Sea Maiden's Fair.
Oh. Okay.
And can Tim talk?
Nim cannot speak, no.
Is he? Does he have like a person? Like, can he understand? I know that. I don't know.
Yes.
What's politically correct?
He can hear and understand language.
That was very dad of you.
Yeah, and, Ren looks visibly uncomfortable. I think we're concerned because a animatronic of some capability and fashion style attacked and killed 11 people, or is believed to be responsible for the death of 11 people in the Northward.
How was it dressed? I might be familiar.
I was gonna look back at the drawing. He had yeah.
Matilda is gonna say, "Oh, I can help. Let me show him." So, this is his little hat. He had a red hat on, as you can see here in this image, and he very, very fancy. He also had a cape and a mustache, as you can see in this drawing that I have.
He's going to... He'll say, "Oh, very nice drawing."
Matilda
Ren's
blushes.
gonna stare him down. Ren's staring him down from behind Matilda.
Can I roll insight on this guy?
Go for it.
Cool. Ooh, that's gonna be a good roll. Sorry, I just need to pull up my character sheet. Insight is 20. Dirty 20.
What are you trying to figure out?
If he knows about the like what about the robot we're talking about, or if he's just kind of like playing dumb.
He doesn't. He does know of a few other Nimblewrights, but doesn't recognize one wearing a large red hat.
Okay. This guy, this robot we're discussing, he also happened to have a necklace of fireball. You know those red beady things you huck and it makes a big explode. That's how he did the explosion that killed some people. Is that like a rare item?
Is what a rare item?
The necklace of fireball.
I can tell you its exact rarity if you'd like me to.
You can just give me an estimation.
It's pretty rare. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, all magic items are
Right.
not particularly
just
common.
for a robot to be hucking down at a gnome, not very common. Also,
No,
clearly
that's a thing that
powerful
happens
spell.
every day.
The robot gnome wars been going on for centuries. Crazy necklace, right?
What? Do you say that to him?
Crazy necklace, right? How does a robot get his hands on one of those?
What necklace?
The necklace of fireball, you dunce.
Did you bring up the necklace of fireballs to him?
Yeah, I did.
Did I somehow miss that? What?
I
think you.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
it.
Oh, what? Remind me what you said specifically.
I said, the robot also happened to have a necklace of fireball.
Oh,
Crazy, right? Not your average robot attire.
I have no doubt that they can operate magic items. I mean, as you can see, they can create them.
I don't like you, little man. You bother me.
Excuse me. What my partner here means to say is that, Yep. I'm sorry.
Hey.
We're like the best group. We're like the best adventurers.
Do you all need anything here?
Yeah, yep. I was wondering if I know that. Is there anybody that you would know that would maybe own an animatronic like this, or where this animatronic could be, or anywhere we could start trying to figure this out?
I mean, Captain Zord's been selling them for pretty cheap.
Unusually cheap.
Also,
Yeah. I mean, the work is clearly tens, if not hundreds of thousands of gold worth, and we got it for a mere 1,500 gold.
I'm sorry, what did they get for 1,500 gold?
The animatronic
robot.
that's worth like
Oh my
10,000 or something. Yeah.
Were they really desperate to get rid of him? Or something?
My best guess is that up in Luskin, where the fair is from, they have a lot.
Ah. Hmm.
It was
be
Nim.
able to take Tim with us for our investigation.
Nope, we're not. We don't need Tim.
I want Tim.
You have Ference.
That's true. He's pretty good.
Is Tim? Sorry, is Bim the only one that came? Was he the only one that was purchased from this captain?
He's the only one we purchased, but he had plenty more.
Okay. Where can we find this captain?
Down in the dock ward.
Ah,
Hold on,
Dock
let me-
ward.
I almost got shot there once.
We did an investigation that we probably spent way too much effort on down there. It was great.
We spent 2 to 3 days. Right. Well,
What about there was the temple with the gnome god? The other thing that you guys did the parade with. The other group you did the parade with.
This is the temple with the gnome god.
yep. That's his name.
Oh.
This is the
wait,
House of
so what was the
Inspired
other?
Hands. The House of Wonders.
Okay. Yeah, the House of Wonders.
Yes. They also have a Nimblerite, the one that you saw in the parade.
Might they? All right, never mind. Dick.
I'm sorry, could you please leave?
Yeah,
You're
all right. I
interrupting our
slip
work.
into a bathroom and come back as Shay. Hi, I'm Shay.
Do you make
Yep.
any attempt to hide that this is what you're doing?
I mean, like, I go into a bathroom. I don't want people to know I'm a changeling.
They asked you to leave, so you went into a bathroom.
I gotta take. Oh wait, yeah. Oh, can I find an alleyway? Sorry, this is unnecessary.
Can I do an insight check to see that if Ren can tell that when the gnome goes like, you need to leave, and Shay turns around and leaves immediately, that Shay intends to come back in 3 minutes after changing and cause havoc?
I think you can tell that the gnome was referencing all three of you. He knew you were a
I
group.
figured as
Yeah.
much. Yeah, Ren's gonna give him a head nod. Thank you for your help. We will be going. Get out of there.
Can I say that during that, just the whole course of this interaction, if I noticed anything deceitful about this person we've been talking to?
Make an insight check.
That's a 9. Get wrecked.
My goodness.
I mean, He seemed pretty straightforward. Didn't seem to have much to hide.
Okay.
I like how Matilda's giving us bad chances through her roles, and I'm giving us bad chances by being a moron.
Ren is being fairly responsible today, which is crazy because my man wakes up early to drink. Like that's like
You are each day you come more functioning of an alcoholic. It's impressive.
Yeah.
like every day you guys come downstairs and Ren has already been down there for 30 minutes, not doing anything or like setting up, just drinking. Just
that is disturbing.
he needs his alone time.
As we're walking out, I'd say to the other child, I'm sorry, just that guy fucking rubbed me the wrong way. I did not like his stupid face.
Yeah, detective, I'm worried though because at the we're kind of a dick to that guy at the crime scene.
I whispered to Ren, I can just change. I can be a different person entirely with 0 consequences.
Okay, well, just wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Man, isn't it crazy how anonymity gives people the boldness to do
That's
shitty
true.
things?
Yeah,
true.
that's crazy.
That's true.
Yeah.
Just a thought that of maybe something we want to do. I mean, I know that he's like really shook up now, but maybe if we press Rainier for information, he might have something that is helpful that like he doesn't even know is helpful. Do you know what I mean?
We haven't talked to him about it, have we?
Yeah. I asked him a few questions, but only a few, and he was still like really upset about what had happened. So maybe now that he's like had some time to calm down, maybe we could turn our attention his way. I mean, we can also try, like, if Shay wants to go in as another person, we can try that. But like maybe after that we can talk to Rainier just as like a plan B.
Go in where?
Oh, I didn't know if you wanted to change into another person and go into this building that we're here in front of, the hands.
Oh, the
What is
place.
it called?
Oh,
The shrine of hands or something.
I mean, I think we got a lot of information here. I think we should check with the captain, or we could check with Rainier again.
Oh yeah, we can. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think we should
It
go.
is also getting pretty dark.
Well, we should probably go. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk to Rainier then.
do we know where he lives?
Nope.
Is he still at the tavern?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably
You go
not.
back to the tavern.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
On our way
so-
home, is there like a store like with some sweets or some candy? Like, is there a candy store?
Oh.
Or like with knickknacks?
So most of the seaward that you're traveling through is like estates. If you look, yeah, I'll say you can find some sweets or knickknacks around home.
I want to buy those and then
Okay.
bring it back to that. I want to buy some sweets for the kids.
You spend
Because
a
they've
few
had
silver. I'm not
they've
going
had
to
a-
make you keep this.
bad day.
Yeah.
They've had a really bad day. One
All right.
might say a trauma day.
So you come back up to Lift's Ghost, and parked outside of it is a familiar ornate cabbie. It seems that Amalia Castellanter is here.
Oh no.
Is she the fancy lady?
She's the
Yes,
lady with the,
the one
stupid
who gave
dress.
you a loan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What sort of
So-
attitude does she have on her right now?
Do you go inside?
I mean, can I see her through
See-
the window?
Do you want to stealthily look through the window of your own tavern?
Yes.
Okay, make a stealth check.
I want to be a creep.
We could have sent Shay in first.
Actually, that's okay. That's an 11. I don't know. That's kind of decent.
Sure. I mean, she's not looking intently. So she's there. She's sitting at a table alone, eating some food.
Okay.
All right, Ren's gonna pull my party mates over towards an alley. All right. So it would appear that we have company.
Mm.
I'm sure it's probably fine. Yep. All right. 1, 2, 3, go team. Let's go. All right. Come on,
team,
champs.
let's go.
All right. So yeah, you head inside.
Does Amalia look up when we come in, or is she still eating?
Yes, she does. She's seated at this table right here next to the door, or close to the door.
Is the map that you have up the inside of the tavern? Because the map that there it is. Okay.
Yep. She's seated at this table right here.
Okay.
I'd like to give her a very formal and like polite greeting, as much as Shay would know about that, which probably isn't much, but just like right foot starting off situation.
Is Shay Shay, or is Shay still Hodrudge?
Shay is Shay at this point.
Okay.
Okay. Make a charisma check.
Okay. Oh, sorry, not bad. That's a 10. Jeez.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's about the type of greetings you would expect from someone who's not super accustomed to the upper crust of society. So she, says, yes, hello. I heard about what happened here earlier today. I'm very sorry to hear it.
Yeah, it was not great.
I've also heard that you have children that may have been caught in the blast. Are they all right?
They're okay
they're-
now.
Yeah.
Our one child. Does she know that? Excuse me. Does she know their names?
No.
Our one child not really got caught up in it and was unconscious, but Ren healed her, so now she's okay. But they're still like really upset by what happened. And honestly, I think a lot of people are. We were trying to figure out what happened, but we weren't able to get any information. Do you know anything about it?
She giggles a little bit. I actually think I might. And this is a complicated, and she looks around and lowers her voice, frankly quite sensitive subject.
Is there
I
anyone
believe.
else? Sorry, is there anyone else in the tavern other than her?
Yeah.
Okay,
We
maybe
could go upstairs to the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk
I
privately?
think perhaps, since I also think I may like to call in our favor from you,
Oh.
we should discuss business at my estate tomorrow.
Oh.
You can bring your children. They can have a very nice dinner. Meet our children. I believe they're about the same age.
One of our kids does have a knife, so
Yeah.
yeah.
They like to
You will
play
not
really
take away
rough.
their opportunity to make friends. You will not do that.
No, I'm just saying, have a healer on hand in case she gets stabby. Is all.
Our children can defend themselves.
Oh
We'll
hell yeah.
see.
Okay. Yeah. I love mansions.
Very well.
What is the dress code?
You can wear whatever you'd like. It won't be a formal event.
Shay immediately books it upstairs to change into her, the formal wear that she had on before, and comes
Okay.
back down.
To
This is
clarify,
tomorrow.
yeah,
Hmm?
this is happening tomorrow.
That does not change anything.
Okay.
Actions.
Yeah. So she says, yes. Preferably you would come by first thing in the morning. And we can have lunch. If you'd like to stay for dinner as well, you may do so.
We are very thankful for your offer, and we will come by tomorrow to discuss the plan.
Very well. I look forward to it.
We know where she lives.
No, but she'll tell you.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah, she'll let you know. And in fact, as she tells you, you realize that it's a place that you walked past twice today.
Oh.
So yeah, she then goes. Her dress. It's weird. You couldn't really tell the full extent of this dress while she was sitting, but when she stands up, you can see that the bottom is all blue with multicolored ribbons around it, and it's much puffier, of course, than it looked when she was seated. And she goes, leaves the house, gets back in the carriage, and rides off.
Did she have any like attendants with her, or was it just her?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I mean they were seated outside
Right.
in the carriage.
So, fellas, I'm thinking I might run out to get some sort of, just like a small gift for like, hey, thanks for bringing us to your mansion. Also, I like ingratiating myself with the rich because they have money.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that. If that's cool with you guys.
I actually
We
might.
could take some of the wine from the basement, like from our cellar.
Oh, that
Might be
bad.
nice because we have it on hand, and then we could be like from our tavern.
Yeah. Also, what time is it right now?
It's dark. It's getting to be evening.
Okay. Because I might want to like just get some nice-ish clothes for the chitlins.
Yeah.
Ooh. Which one of the kids is the magic user?
That's Jenks.
Jenks? Okay, he was also the one that found the other one. Sorry, I forget their names.
Nat.
She is better than Ethan at remembering names. I mean, fuck. But I'd like to give him, I have a health potion. I slipped that to him in case of emergencies. And like a similar sort of, here's a knife, here's a potion.
Yeah,
thing.
he kind of goes, thank you.
Yeah,
Oh my
just
God, these kids.
keep you kids look after each other. Keep each other safe, all right?
They're still pretty visibly rattled from what
Yeah.
happened today.
Yeah.
And not only, that being caught in the blast, but also 11 dead bodies just sitting
Yeah.
around.
Speaking of, Ren is going. Where are the children right now?
They're probably upstairs.
Yeah.
I imagine Patrick is taking care of them.
Yeah, Ren's first gonna go in, wave to Patrick. He'll give him like 3 candy. He'll go, for you, Patrick. Good job. Patrick's the adult son.
Yes.
And then Ren's gonna crouch down and like assess the children and make sure that they're not dead or dying or dead.
Yeah, they're doing good.
Have they like washed up to get all the soot and ash off of them?
Yes.
Okay. So, sorry, just to clarify, do we have time to just go do a little bit of shopping to get them nice
Sure.
outfits? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna do that then, and maybe I don't know, something for myself that's just not trash.
Okay.
Is there any shops? I'm looking for like some sort of like ornate knife or something, maybe with like a minor enchantment on it. Just like a cool, nice gift, but not anything too big.
Okay. So I will say, Matilda, you find nice attire for 15 gold for you and the 3 children together. Is 15 gold.
Okay.
Ethan, what specifically are you looking for here?
Maybe just like a knife, like an ornate knife that's never dull, or like some sort of like minor enchantment like that. Not anything that'll
Okay.
like destroy my bank.
I'll say you can find a really nice knife that's enchanted with a nice, you know, a minor enchantment like that to
Yeah.
keep it sharp. For 50 gold.
How many gold in a platinum?
10.
10? Alright, I am out of platinum. Okay, cool.
Okay. So yeah, you find a pretty nice attire for the kids. Nat seems to take to it well, and Jenks certainly doesn't put up a fight. Squidly though is, you know, he's a feisty kid. He doesn't like being made to do stuff.
Can I bribe him with like alcohol?
No!
Yes, you can.
No!
I do
He'll
that.
go for a drink.
Give the boy a shot.
The kids are like 9, 10. You can't do that.
I mean, I started drinking when I was his age and I turned out fine.
You are a possum.
old
It
are
is
you, by the
different,
way?
Matilda.
You are an opossum. How old is Matilda?
Oh, actually, that's a good question. Because shifters age like humans, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm probably, I don't know. I
I
forget
think
what
they
we
mature
said.
faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm actually probably, in terms of like chronology, I'm similar in age, but in maturity, I'm a lot more mature to the kids.
No.
I mean, like, technically, but also not.
Okay.
If we're about to go to sleep, I want to use my last spell slot to like use another silent image to just make it look like there's like stars on their ceiling, as sort of
I
like
was
a
gonna
nightlight.
say I want to use a summon beast 2nd level spell slot, which doesn't say how long it lasts.
Doesn't.
I can't find that. It says it lasts until it reaches 0 hit points or the spell ends.
I believe the spell ends after 1 hour.
Perfect. Well. Oh yeah, 1 hour is there. It is. I'm going to summon a beast of air. Because that's fun.
Okay. And that beast of the air, what is it doing?
Oh, it's just like hanging out with the kids. It's just being a bird.
Okay. Yeah, your and silent image lasts 10 minutes, which I think is probably long enough to get the kids to sleep.
Yeah.
Do you tell them? Oh yeah, you bought them stuff. You
Yeah.
definitely tell them that
Yeah.
you're doing fancy stuff tomorrow.
Yep, I explained everything to them.
Okay. Yeah, so the next morning comes. Hold on, let me change the calendar because that's a thing I can do.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
Calendar.
exploding with
Gotta take a
excitement.
long rest.
Yeah, so you all take your long rests.
My armor class is permanently stuck at 2.
Oh really?
Oof.
I don't know why.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah, that's fine.
You
I
can't change it?
I tried to change it to what it should be earlier, but it went back to 2, so just thought I'd let you know.
Alistair, just because I'm
Yes?
running low on resources, am I able to re-up with the family that I'm duping? I forget when the last time I did that was.
Now?
Well, like, is that something I would have been able to do within like the past few days, or not?
So I have money. So I have money.
Sure.
Okay. Because I'm pretty sure I'm out of gold. If you said a silent image costs 3 gold.
What?
Silent
no,
image
no.
costs 3 gold for like resources.
Silent image doesn't cost anything to cast.
Familiar does.
Familiar costs 10
whoa,
gold.
okay, got you. All right. And that doesn't go away with like it only goes away if he's killed, right?
That's correct.
Okay, cool. Never mind then.
I'm trying to sort
does
out.
the night pass without incident?
Yes, it does. There we go. Is that what your AC should be, Ren?
Wait, let me see. I think so, because it's 4, 11, so 15, 16, I think it's 17 because I have a shield. It's not a big deal, just remember it. I just thought it was fun because I opened it and I was like, haha, 2! Don't worry about it, Alistair.
Weird. Alright.
It's haha funny.
I'm gonna figure out what's doing that later. So yeah, the next morning comes, and so presumably, so yeah, the next morning comes, and a carriage is waiting outside for you.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
Fancy boys.
Do the
Let's
kids
fuck it up.
do the kids get ready and everything?
Yeah, they're ready before long.
Okay.
I like how we just leave Patrick. Like, oh, we're taking the kids, and screw you, Patrick.
Yeah, well, he is an employee technically. Ren will.
He's kind of also our son, but
yeah,
you know.
I do treat him like a son. Ren will have a good He's gonna look at Patrick just before he leaves. He's like, "All right, we're leaving."
Also, Patrick's like older. Like, I don't think he'd enjoy spending time with younger kids. You know?
He's like 20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in charge. I'm gonna give him how much is enough to buy this world's equivalent of pizza? Like, how much for a meal that feeds you one person for a day?
Actually, Worth, pizza exists. That's canonical.
Oh yeah, it does.
How much for a pizza, DM?
I made a mask out of pizza boxes or something.
Yep.
I'll say 3 silver. Not
I will
a lot.
give him 5 silver.
Okay.
And I will go. All right, this is just make sure that you and Liff are okay. You're in charge. Take this. Go buy yourself a pizza or whatever this world equates to pizza. All right. Goodbye.
Okay.
I love Patrick, guys. He never says anything. I love Patrick.
Yeah, he just kind of sits there and absorbs the information and just kind of...
He's
Worth
such
is
a
surrounded
good...
by people who talk way too much.
I love him.
Alright, so yeah, you guys hop in the carriage. It takes you... I'm going to activate the city map here. Yeah, so it will take you much the same way you guys went before. You'll go down Dozoran Street, up to here, and then the carriage turns here and stops right here. This is the Castellanter Villa. So before you is this, the Sea Ward is full of homes like this. This one is notable because there's this intersection is about the best place in the city to just look around. Looking around, you can see all of these different gardens. It's at a high point, so you can see pretty much the whole Sea Ward from here. Big, 4-story houses, tall, with nice gardens in them, and the Castellanter Villa is no exception. It is 3 buildings. These 3 buildings make up the villa, and the green section here is there's a wall. It's walled off.
Okay. I guess Matilda just waddles on out of the carriage.
All right.
Checks it out.
So, if Matilda's not wearing her Bjork dress, what is Matilda wearing?
Oh, yes. If not my Bjork dress. So probably what she bought for herself was, plain but sort of nice linen clothes. She's probably got just a black tunic with some like maybe silver embroidery on it. Nothing super fancy, just nice enough to be considered like not trash.
Yeah. Okay.
Are,
Yeah. So you guys.
are you asking
uh,
for a reference image for future
No, I was just curious.
Okay. So you guys step out of the carriage. Here, obviously, this is a very grand building. It is huge. And right in front of you, there is the main door. It's rather large. There's a tall window on either side of the door as well.
Are we like being escorted in by people, or are we just going to
As soon as you got out of the carriage turned around and actually went into one of the other buildings that seems to have an opening large enough for a carriage. Went into this building.
Okay. Matilda's gonna knock with her little paw.
There's a knocker on the door.
Oh, there is? Okay.
Yeah.
She's gonna knock that knocker.
All right.
Is it
So
is it a big knocker? Does this door
yeah.
have big knockers?
come on, they're rich. Only big knockers.
Only
my
big
goodness.
um,
Just ripping
so-
up jokes from Young Frankenstein? Alright.
knockers.
Before long, you hear his footsteps before you see anything. There's the quiet click, clack, click, and you can hear that because this area, especially this street, is not particularly busy. It's still pretty early in the morning, and it's also a residential area. So click, 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 and then the door opens, and you see in front of you a very well-dressed tiefling. He is tall. He is composed, and he's essentially the butler.
Okay.
He says, "Ah, yes, we've been expecting you. Come on inside." Opens the door, and you come in to this grand entrance hall. There's a crystal chandelier in the middle of the room, which the kids, they step inside and kind of marvel at its grandeur. This room, which, I mean, even just the room, the ceiling is 30 feet above you. It's big in here. And lining all the walls are these shelves, and each shelf contains multiple silver goblets, and on the front of each silver goblet is the image of a golden sun.
Do I take that to mean that that's like the house crest?
Make a religion check.
Oh, okay. Ugh, once again, a garbage roll. That was a 5.
I'll say that you recognize it's probably not Castellanter house crest.
Okay.
It's probably a religious iconography of some kind, but you
Ah.
don't know what religion, what deity.
Okay.
I point to the goblets to Tiefling and say, "Ah, beautiful crest. What is I'm not familiar with it."
Ah, holy symbols of Siamorph.
Say again?
Siamorph. SIAMORPHE.
Thank you.
And I will say this doesn't even require a check. He already said the name. Siamorph is a demigod of nobility and the divine right to rule, essentially.
Wow.
Oh God. Oh no.
Yep.
Hey, they're rich. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. But, oh no.
All right. So, yeah. So this guy says, "My name is Wilfred Crowell. Lady Castellanter should be here shortly. In the meantime, you can have a look around.
Sweating.
And I do have a map for this area that I will bring y'all into. Gosh. And I don't have anyone else on this map, but I will let you guys use it as a reference for now.
Okay. So we're allowed to explore this room. We're not allowed to go through the doors or anything.
He said you can have a look around.
Okay.
Just Ference is going up there alone.
This is immediately just meandering elsewhere.
Alright.
Wilford does say immediately, I would prefer that you stick together. I will be accompanying you, of course.
Terrence flops back.
Ren is going. Do Shay and Ren share a language?
Let me check.
You probably both
Do you
speak
know
Elvish.
any thieves can't? I think I did. Languages. Thieves can't, Common, Elvish, and Goblin.
Okay, I speak Elvish.
Cool.
Ren is going to very slowly turn to Shay and just in Elvish, whispered because this tiefling, the butler might speak Elvish, just be like, "Do not touch anything or take anything in here."
Shay responds in Goblin. Will try as hard as possible not to.
Just gonna look at her and be like, "All right."
Double thumbs up.
Yep. All right.
The kids are just kind of walking around slowly, taking in their surroundings.
Oh my
They've
goodness.
clearly never been in a house like this before.
So is back this way? Is this the exit? Like right here?
Yes.
Okay.
Also,
I-
you'll have to excuse that the windows look really stupid. They're not on the map that I used, so I just had to make the wall invisible in places.
I turn to the
That's what
butler. I
these
say,
are.
I have a gift for Lady Castellanter. Should I present that to her later, or should I give that to you to hand off to her at a different point?
Well, she'll be here any moment.
Okay.
As this is happening, also let me...
The idea of presenting a 5 platinum gift to someone who is so clearly massively wealthy has completely gone over Shay's head.
Okay. Let me... There we go. After a little bit of time, 2 children appear.
Oh fuck. Oh god, look at him. Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And they come over and immediately greet the other children and start, saying blah blah this and that, and talking the way kids do.
Get him.
And immediately they're kind of excited to show all this stuff to kids. They don't have other kids over here very often. So they're running around this room, showing everything, and then before long they open this door, and the 5 kids all go through this door, and Wilford closes the door behind them.
Is
Are
that
they, like-
out like to the lawn?
I'll say you get a glimpse that it is outside. Yes.
Are they just like how do I what was the vibe that I got off the kids? Like
Yeah.
just
Make an insight check.
insight? Okay. Actually, Ren, are you interested in that as well?
I am interested. Ren
What-
is just suspicious.
Yeah,
In
what is your
general.
my insight is +2. What's yours?
+6.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay.
Haha, 9.
I mean, they're kids.
Yeah.
All right. Checks out. Those are children. I don't like if you look up at the rolls 3, 5, 7, 7, 1, 16, a 7, a 1. Just like the majority of these are under 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has not been our day today.
I really
At
hope we
least
don't
there
get
hasn't
into
been a
any
whole lot of
combat.
combat this session for
We're
you guys
gonna
to
die.
be dying in.
Yeah.
Alistair, just going forward in terms of schmoozing the rich, could I have advantage just because I do have a lot of experience schmoozing, you know the word I'm just trying to say, the
I'll-
rich?
I'll decide on a case-by-case basis.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Just give me
so
the help action.
shortly
I'm
after,
joking. I'm joking.
shortly after
We
the
actually
children arrive and dart out, Amalia herself appears, wearing a different dress, of course. This one is red.
Winsies.
And she comes down and says, "I'm sorry that they just kind of darted by without barely even seeing you. I'm sure." She was right behind them.
Are they your children?
Yes, those are Terencio and Elzarina.
Oh my god.
Do we know of like?
Or
Does she have like a husband? Like, is there? What do we know about her personal life?
Nothing, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
they
Um,
We
seem
know
like
she has children.
she is not a virgin. We know that much.
Well, we don't know that. We got ours off the street.
That's true.
That is true.
Rich people do that all the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I step forward and again go for the same greeting while also extending the gift and say I wanted to give a small token of our gratitude for what you've done to help our business.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Although I believe that what we will ask of you today will be your way of repaying us for what we've done.
Tomato, tomato. I'm a
She's
nice
speaking
guy.
in the royal we right now.
Hmm?
Is she speaking in the royal we right now? Is that the impression of the plurality of that?
Make an
She's-
insight check.
If so, I really don't like that. That does not bode well. That bodes very poorly, in fact. Let's see it. Of fucking course. 13.
13, I'll say you know that she's referencing herself in the other castle enters.
Okay.
Can I do an insight check to see if she likes my gift?
Sure, go for it.
Why'd you
Alright.
nat 20 on this?
Um,
Because
so-
this is.
She also, of course, does take it as she says, "Thank you, but."
Yeah, I
we
assume
like your
so, but I
repayment
want to
in
know if
another
she
way.
actually likes it. That's a 14.
Yeah, she seems, it's nice. It's a nice dagger. She'll take it and she'll give
Do
it
a
to
quick
Williford.
fist pump. Hell yeah.
She'll take it and she'll give it to Williford and say, "Take this upstairs, please. Thank you." And Williford then turns around and heads up the stairs. And then she says, "Now, shall we discuss business?"
I think so.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Excellent. And she turns around, she opens this door and goes in. This room is a library. The walls, it's a tall room, of course, like the other one. And the high walls are filled absolutely ceiling to floor with marvelous bookshelves full of all these books, all different colors and sizes. One of the shelves even has a whole bunch of jars on it, and they're hard to describe. They're these tall jars that seem to be full of mist.
Not to flex, but I have my own jar full of something too. Oh yeah.
I was just gonna say
Jesus.
pixie in a jar.
Are there any pixies in jars on the shelves?
There are not.
Damn it.
Oh,
That means I'm better than her. All right.
Amalia then comes forward, opens this door, and goes forward to meet with her husband, who is sitting at a table, flipping through a book.
Before I go into that room with everybody else, what is my impression of these jars? Do I know anything about them? What is in them?
Make an Arcana check.
My Arcana's not great. That's a 3.
Oh my god.
What is
Can
it?
I give Matilda the help action? Because I do have decent Arcana.
Sure.
What does that
So is it
Watch it
about?
be a
just-
2. Watch it be a 2.
Roll with advantage.
Roll with
Is that
advantage,
that's the
okay.
help action, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll just roll with
So
that.
just roll again.
Yeah.
Oh
Okay,
my
that's
god.
An 8.
Boy.
Fucking
Slightly better.
8.
What's your total?
My total is 8.
8. Yeah, I mean, you can tell that they're magical. It's not hard to discern, but you don't know what they are, what they do.
Okay.
So here, Amalia's husband, Victoro, is at a desk, flipping through a ledger of some sort, as Amalia stands beside the desk and says, Victoro, we have company. And he looks up and says, Ah, yes, greetings. Amalia says, yes.
I have a very important question.
Yes.
Is he a DILF?
Is this
He
dad
kind
hot?
of is.
Is he a
He's
hot
pretty
dad?
hot.
He's pretty hot?
He's
So
pretty
not
hot.
like Timothy Oliphant, but still pretty DILFy?
Kinda. Right now he just seems kind of stressed. So Amalia is going to, after alerting Victoro to the presence of other humans here, or humanoids rather, she'll turn around and look at all the kids frolicking in the garden, playing, and says, beautiful, aren't they?
As you said that, my eye was honing in on this one right here. I was like, yeah, that's a kid, all right. Oof.
Also, I guess I should describe this room. There's a desk, also, 3 large windows on each of these walls. And above the door is a black dragon head.
Oh, like the
which-
actual head of a black dragon?
Yes, looks to be the actual head of an actual black dragon.
Wow.
Holy shit.
And so Amalia is looking out at the children and turns back around to you and says, is there any better sound than a child's laughter?
Matilda looks as though she's pensively trying to answer that question.
And to think we just found ours on the street. We didn't even have to pay for them.
We didn't even have to pay for them.
I really don't trust these people. Like,
say
Olivia is
that?
like, mm-mm.
No.
Okay, good.
Truly, children are the highest of blessings.
Indeed. The reason that we've asked you here is because we believe you can help ours.
What is wrong with them?
Say it like that.
No.
Clearly, look at the one. He's fucked up. Also, don't say that, to be clear.
First,
Although-
let me ask that you not disclose any of this conversation to our children or yours.
Of course.
They're not aware.
Mm-hmm. Are they sick?
Something like that.
Mm.
When they were young, they were cursed by a
Yeah.
cult. And you can see that she's having a hard time getting these words out. By this point, Victoro has completely buried himself in the book again, frantically flipping pages, trying to work things out. And Amalia is, she says, their souls will be forfeit on their 9th birthday.
How old are they now?
8.
When is their 9th birthday?
2 months.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wait,
Okay.
actually no, I think it's
Well,
1
let's
month.
check the calendar.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
let's-
DM. That's DM problem. Yeah, I believe it is about 1 month, probably less than 1 month, since we're in the second half of chess.
What do you know? What cult it was that put on the curse to the children?
Well, we've spent a while searching for that information, and we've come to the conclusion that we believe it is a devil-worshipping cult to Asmodeus.
That bitch.
We have been searching for years for a way to break the curse and save them. And we did indeed find a way, in the literature. But, it requires the sacrifice of 1 million gold coins.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
we are very rich, but, millions we have not. She motions to the book Victorio's holding and says, we did the math, and even if we call in all of our debts, leverage all of our assets, and liquidize everything we can, we still come up hundreds of thousands short.
Okay.
And Victorio is once again searching frantically throughout the book. And then Amalia continues explaining. For a time, we were caught by melancholy. You may call us bad parents, but we had all but accepted that we had lost our children.
Hmm.
Then we heard news of Neverember's Enigma.
Yep.
Mm.
If there really is a vault with 500,000 gold in it, it would save our children's lives. Now, we have reason to believe that you all might be somehow entwined with this. You know Renan, and, well, that fireball yesterday morning. Before I say anything else, will you help us?
Yeah? I think we can do it.
Roll insight onto them.
Go for it.
Okay. Insight +2. That's only a 9.
I mean, she seems upfront, honest, extremely concerned about her children.
Did you cause the attack?
No, nothing like that.
Hmm.
But we did know of Dalakar.
Hmm. What did you know about him?
Delicately as possible that I can say this. Just I want to have as much information as possible. What caused your family to be targeted by this cult? Was it just your wealth, or was there something more specific?
I mean, it must have been our wealth. There are few wealthier than we. I do not wish to brag truly, but if one was to target the rich, we would be on the short list. So she's going to, she kind of turns around and looks back out at them for a second before turning back to you and saying, Dalakar held an object known as the Stone of Galore. Let me spell that out for you in chat. This stone is thought to be the key to finding where this vault is.
Who do you think caused the attack? On the gnome.
That is a complicated question. Have you ever heard the phrase grand game?
Have I?
Make a history check.
Okay.
Can I also roll history?
Go for it. I'll allow all of you to do
Okay.
it.
Oh my god, 5.
7 for me.
Hold on, wait, I'm coming in clutch, guys. History.
Ren.
History.
Here we go. Hey, 13.
13. You've heard it in passing, Ren, The other two of you have not heard it. Ren, since you're more ingrained into city life, and you have been in your life, you've heard it before. Grand game is the name given to basically when there's something very valuable or important that is in the air, and there's a lot of different people in Waterdeep trying to get it.
Hmm.
And as she explains that, and also follows it with usual players are the Xanathar Guild, the Zentarim, as well as any number of noble families, and the city itself. The government tends to not play a large role. They tend to be behind the curve, but every now and then, in fact, multiple times, the goal of the grand game has been the appointment of the new open lord. Everyone would like a ruler who is sympathetic to themselves.
Mm.
The knowledge of Neverember's Enigma set off another grand game, which is currently underway. Any number of groups, the Zentarim, the Xanathar Guild, other noble families, I might not even put it above the city to have set off the fireball.
Mm.
Real quick, Alistair, what was the potions that we delivered again? What type of potions?
Potions of mind reading.
Of what?
Mind reading.
Jesus. Okay.
Hmm.
Do you have any opinions? I mean, I know that you said that it could be like a whole bunch of people, but may I ask, in your personal opinion, who you think it is?
Well, I don't know what happened nearly as much as you did. You were all there, yes?
Yes, we were. Unfortunately, we know not enough.
We have
What-
some leads we're gonna
Y-
follow up on.
Yes.
Do you have any sway with the city guard?
We might have some. Why?
Any resources we can get?
Yes.
Mm.
And of course,
Like,
you have access
yeah.
to our full resources in your help saving our children.
Cool. Shay's sweating again.
Perhaps we should share information. I don't know what would be useful, but what do you know about the attack?
We followed up with the House of Mans, and they had some interesting. They seem to. Oh, I forget the name of the constructs. Nim. What were they called?
I think actually you probably do know their name after having gone to the House of Inspired Hands, Nimble Rights.
Nimble Rights. There was a Nimble right there. Similar to in appearance, kind of to the one who performed the attack, but it didn't appear to be the same one. And after talking with some folks there, they directed us to talk to a captain who had been distributing these constructs at a lower than average cost.
Nimble Rights, yes. I know of a few. I know that the House of Wonders, of course, has one. There's also one. She points you towards another noble family, the Deslantiers. The Deslantiers also have one. We were considering buying one ourselves, but don't find we have much need and would rather save the money for obvious reasons.
I do a quick message to Ren and Matilda. Like, can I do a mass message, or does it have to be on an individual basis?
To an individual, but you can do it twice.
Okay. I just want to ask them how much do we want to tell these people? Like, because potentially the potions we delivered, like anything could be helpful since we might be working against our own guild. But also trusting people off the bat ain't my strong suit, so I leave it up to you guys.
Ren is going to telepathically respond with, we should not yet tell them about the mind reading potions because those are highly illegal. And we should check with our guild leader first before incriminating ourselves, our guild, and the client that we hired.
I agree. I don't think that if there's one thing we should not mention, it is our guild for sure. But I do feel like we can tell them. I mean, does she know for already yet for sure that it was a nimble right that threw the bomb?
Amalia?
Yeah.
She doesn't know anything about what happened.
I think that we can at least tell her that it was a nimble right that threw the bomb, because I feel like that might actually provoke her to give us maybe some insight on why that could be, if she has any.
I agree.
Yeah. Shay, do you agree?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So if that's the case, Matilda is gonna say it. She will say that so far the only thing we know for sure, based on the descriptions of the people who saw what had happened, is that a nimble right with a red hat and a cape threw a fireball, and he had like a fireball necklace, and the fireball that he threw was the one that caused all of the commotion. And I think that also it was him who took the item from the gnome, and he ran away, and I tried to follow him, but I did not end up finding him, so we do not know where he went after that.
You say you have a good description of the nimble.
Oh, yes,
And
I
a
do.
very bad
Actually,
drawing.
I drew a picture of him. Would you like to see it?
I mean, very good drawing.
She pulls it out of her little...
I think...
Before Amalia has a chance to respond, she pulls it out of her little possum pouch, and once again uncrumples it and runs up to her and shows it to her.
Okay,
Ren's gonna do thumbs up, like tentative thumbs up, like come on, just...
Okay. So she's gonna say, I think you should take this to Captain Zord. He might have a record of sale.
A record of sale for fireball necklaces? Or a record
For
of sale
the
for
construct.
to the
nimble
right.
rights, right?
For the
Yes.
construct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is a good idea. Do you know him? Are you friends with him? The captain?
No, he doesn't live in the city.
Because I
Does he
wonder...
live-
I wonder what clout we might use to get him to reveal that information. Like maybe if we say that we work for you, he will be more inclined to show us that information if we have your blessing to do so.
I'm sorry, what specifically did you ask? I missed the very beginning of that.
I am asking because I'm not sure, like, just forward thinking of a way that we could get that information from him is to say that we, like, work on behalf of Amalia and her family and stuff like that. Just to convince him to actually cooperate with us, that we are connected to a noble family.
Let's see. I don't think we have anything that he would recognize as being of ours, I'm afraid. I don't know him.
We shall find out
This
if
is-
he knows you then.
On a unrelated but potentially helpful note, are either of you a warlock, a wizard, or a bard?
Us?
No,
Or do
they
you
are
have
not.
one of... Do either of you have the ability to make, or have someone who has the ability to make a blood pact? You'll understand this isn't a bad thing for you, I just have information that might be helpful, but I don't want going out.
I'm sorry, wait, who did you ask that to?
Just them, like the two of them.
The castle
The
enters.
castle enters. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking to your party members.
Yeah, I thought
No,
so.
no, no, no.
Yes. Amalia says, I have trained in some magic, yes.
Do you have the ability to make a blood pact?
I don't believe so. No, I don't know any rituals to that effect.
Okay.
So they're going to say, well, you three will help us with this.
Yes, we will
Yes.
help you.
Wonderful. Then, why don't we go for brunch and call the children inside?
Matilda scurries to the door and calls in the chillins.
Yeah, they come on in pretty quick. And before long, the Castellanters also lead you out this way.
Can I pull Lady Castellanter aside real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You pull her into a corner and say, I have information that will potentially help whatever plans you might have for us, but I need your word that it will not get out.
Also, if you want to move your token, Shay.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was on different pages. I was looking up blood packs.
Sorry, could you repeat what you said?
I have information that might be helpful for you, but I need your word that it won't get out.
Of course.
And I reveal that I'm a changeling.
I see.
You understand
Very
why
well.
this can't get out.
Yes, of course. We will let you know if we have use of this unique skill. They came up
Cool.
this way.
Okay, yeah, man.
Victorio is still kind of lost in thought. Amalia, however, is engaging with the children with a very happy face on. As you guys have brunch, obviously it's really nice. Servers come out of this room to bring you food. It's really, really good. The kids particularly enjoy it.
I make sure Ference has his own seat and food placed at the table.
Goodness. They don't
He's a
question it.
member of our team.
Sybil, by the way, is also sitting like on the table but next to me and munching on the crumbs that I leave behind for her.
Okay.
Oh, also
Lady and Master Cattle. Sorry.
no, that's okay. I was just
Castellanca.
gonna say real quick. She also has a little dress on that Ty made for her out of some scrap fabric.
Very good.
Ference has a little folded paper hat on, like a newspaper hat.
Yeah.
Lady and Master Castellanter, have either of you ever come across a brass instrument, perhaps in a bit of a hook shape, with many pedals to play?
Let me... They're gonna say, no, but it sounds interesting. A musical instrument, you say?
Yes, a wind instrument, I think, or brass. You blow through it, basically.
Our older son might know, but he's away studying.
If possible, I would love to write him. This is very important to me.
Very well. Leave your note here, and we'll make sure it gets to him.
I write on a napkin what dis, and then a very bad drawing of a saxophone, and hand it to them.
Perfect. They
What
kind of look
case?
skeptical and say, "Thank you. We'll send this off right away." Williford, and Williford comes over and takes it from them. He looks at it himself and kind of squints his eyes and looks back up at you, and then folds it and walks away.
I finger gun him.
All right. And with that, yeah, you guys finish breakfast up. That's about all there is to do here. As
Those
to
kids
send
are really
you off-
freaking me out.
You chose. I don't know if that just comes with the module, but you chose
Does.
horrible tokens for them.
I didn't choose it. I didn't choose any of these images.
I kind of figured, but still.
So Amalia is then going to as she leads the three of you out, she'll if you need anything in your investigations, come here, request our help, and we will give you all of our resources.
I think we could use a crest of yours
Yeah.
just to help open doors.
Mhm.
Sure. She gives you a little symbol. Andrew doesn't remember what the Castellanter crest is, but whatever. It's something.
It's something.
It's something.
May I also ask? I assume that you have specific books that you have been looking at in your research about this thing that has been stolen from the gnome, and also about just everything in general. May we please borrow some of those books?
Of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, so she'll give you a few books. One of them is about ancient artifacts. Specifically, this book is about magical artifacts that are supposedly older than the world itself.
Ooh.
And the Stone of Galore is among them. And the other book is about the history of grand games in Waterdeep.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Also,
Well,
question:
please-
Are we leaving now, or are we staying for like dinner?
Do you want to stay?
I feel like we can take whatever, because I don't think there's going to be any information that they can give us more information, but I feel like if we take stuff with us and research them at the tavern, maybe we do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's probably kind of subtly pushing you out a little bit
Yep.
as a way to be like, I want you guys to get to work on this immediately
Yeah.
if you're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I asked for a doggy bag.
Okay.
Also, may I also ask, it maybe is irrelevant, but I was curious about the jars of mist that you have in the library.
Oh, hold on, let me... Hold on, this is something that I gotta pull up a whole thing to find.
The whole thing.
A
Oh
whole
my
thing.
gosh. Matilda, how could you? He has to pull up a whole thing.
A whole thing.
A whole thing.
She says, yes, she says, these glass bottles contain magically captured sounds. She takes one down, and uncorks it, and you can hear, the one that she chooses is a young woman singing a song. It is a hymn to Syamorph.
Of course it is.
Very
I'm so
pretty.
split because these people seem chill, but they also worship the god of fucking what's it called?
Divine right.
Mm.
Of rich people. They worship the privilege god, and
Yep.
I don't like that, but
Mm-hmm.
they
In
seem
fact,
okay.
Those of you who haven't made a religion check regarding Syamorph already, which is
Everyone but me.
Russ and Worth,
Yeah.
go ahead and give me a religion check.
Okay. 16.
Okay. What have you got worth?
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, it's
You there, worth?
Or
4? Okay. With a
Yeah.
16, so with a 16, you get that, yeah, Cyamorph is a demigod of nobility and the divine right to rule. I will also say that, you know that Cyamorph is almost as much a title as an individual. A Cyamorph is basically someone who, usually there is a mortal person, a noble, who is given the title of Cyamorph when the previous Cyamorph died, and they inherit the power of the demigod Cyamorph.
Well, cheese you later,
Well.
kids.
Yes, so that is that. So here you are exiting the villa with your 3 kids.
Matilda, I was gonna say, did you have a good time playing with the children?
They're gonna say yes, but you know, these kids are kind of a little full of themselves. You
Yeah.
know, like they all they did the whole time basically was run around being like, I have this and I have this, and look at these cool things that I have, and you know.
Yeah.
Ren, I'll give them a pat on the back. We're raising these street orphans well. No privilege in my house.
What's the name of the mute one I've been training to fight?
Nat.
Nat. I lean down to Nat. I say, Nat, we have been placed on this earth to take from people like this and give to ourselves. And I pat her on the back.
Do I hear that?
I can roll stealth versus perception
Can I
if you
roll
want.
perception to hear that?
Let me roll
Go
stealth.
for
I
it.
have a.
Don't even worry about it.
I got a nat 20.
Yep. Well,
God damn it! The dumbest roll, and I roll a nat 20.
It's fine.
So
I got a
when
7.
when
Don't
you
even
say that to
worry about
Nat,
it.
when you say that to Nat, she kind of reaches down and pulls out a silver spoon.
oh my god!
Nice.
I pick her up and put her on my shoulders, and just like am so happy. I'm just having the time of my life parading her down the street. And I do not tell the others why.
Ren's just like, oh, I'm glad that, like, everyone's getting along. Shay seems to be really adapting to, like, staying in one place. This is good. This is a good thing. No, we're teaching a child how to be a criminal.
All right. So you guys taking the kids home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you get back. The tavern has opened by now. It's not super busy. It's still kind of morning-ish, almost noon.
I toss Patrick the doggy bag.
He'll take it and kind of look inside, and there's a inside it the kitchen staff put a little breakfast cake, a tart kind of, and he'll take it out and he's very happy to chow
God,
down
I
a little
love
bit.
Patrick.
Egg. So unless we gotta do anything around here, you want to talk to that other dude?
Yeah.
The captain.
Yeah.
The captain.
Mhm. I think we should do that. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we have all this stuff. Like, I have some books and stuff, but we do not have to look at them now. I think I would prefer to talk to the captain, because we were going to do that anyway.
With the book investigation stuff, could that be like a downtime thing, like me
Yeah.
teaching how to fight?
Yeah.
Sure.
Mhm.
Okay. Also, do I remember from the parade, what type of like captain are we? Is he like a sea captain, or is like military captain?
Sea captain.
Sea captain?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me look at some notes on where y'all are going.
I shapeshift into the garb of a wealthy sailor.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Hell yeah.
what you get is that he's a sailor, but he's more so identifies, you could tell just by the way he looked and existed in the parade, as the owner of the Sea Maidens Fair.
I
Right.
don't remember if I asked if I was able to do this or not. But from living in the city and knowing most prominent people just from living here, do I know anything about him right off the bat?
He doesn't live here.
Oh, he doesn't live here. Okay.
No.
So, from stories of the people who live here, do I know anything about him?
You do not.
Okay.
All right, yeah, so you get down there, there's a large boat that just, asking passersby for where the Sea Maidens Fair is, where Captain Zord is. You can find him pretty easily.
Where's he at?
Well, you can find his ship pretty easily.
Okay.
Let me... the Eye Catcher is the name of the boat.
Pretentious. Are we just dealing with rich people from now on?
What kind of boat is it? Is it like fancy schmancy?
It's pretty fancy schmancy. I don't have a description of it in front of me, but I can get one. Yeah, it's pretty fancy.
I'd like to go to the bot. Are there people like on the deck or like people guarding the deck?
I mean, there's people kind of around, not like guards.
Is he on deck?
You don't see him.
Okay. I guess I click my heels together and
Oh wait, actually, I was wrong. He's the Eye Catcher isn't docked. It's just it's sitting out in the bay.
get busy swimming or get busy dying.
Are there workers around, like bay dock workers around?
Yeah.
I'm going to go up to them and say, excuse me, can you tell me if that ship over there is coming in soon or if it is leaving?
Oh, well, it's staying in town for a while. The Sea Maidens Fair will remain until the end of festival season.
Oh, is there a reason that it is not docked?
Well, they tend to send smaller boats out. Particularly when Captain Zord needs to engage in business, he'll bring a dinghy.
Is there a way that we could rent a small boat, so that we can get to it?
Yes, of course.
How much would it be to do that?
5 gold for the day.
How many? What?
5 gold
5
for the
gold.
day.
I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna go up to Shay. I'm gonna say, okay, thank you. And go to Shay and say, he wants only 5 gold for a paddle boat to get to the ship, but I think it is expensive. And I think because, like, in general, you're just more charismatic than me, maybe you could haggle for a lower price.
I think I could do that. This is my sailor voice, by the way.
Okay.
I walk up to the sailor in my picture perfect uniform. I say, "Aye, laddie, you're talking about this accent's horrible. So you're hiring out your dinghy for 5 gold. That's how much you're saying this little tub is worth for the day." That's flat disrespect. Where I come from, something like this for 5 gold, you should be ashamed of yourself.
All right.
Hey, that's
Is-
the rate. That's the rate. I look back at Ren and go like, that's the rate, the disrespect from these people. This is how I'm talking now. All right, Jesus Christ.
Do you want to try making
Yeah.
An intimidation check? A persuasion check?
Um.
Ren will slap you on the back for guidance.
Does he also get advantage because he's dressed as a fancy sailor?
That is
No.
only for I only get that if I think deception checks. I only get advantage for deception if I'm playing someone else. Yeah, I think I'll go for intimidation. I'll say, "You should be ashamed of yourself, lad, charging such ridiculous fees for such small fare."
All right, go for it.
Okay. I don't think my intimidation's very high. Oh, it's +3. Okay. And I get +3 from guidance.
Yeah.
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 Thanks, Ren.
Well, did you roll guidance?
Yeah, she did. I saw it.
Okay.
That is a 25.
Wow. Look, it's a tough living, okay?
You call yourself a sailor. I've sailed with more honorable men locked in my brig.
3 gold.
Aye, laddie, that's a good man.
Hey.
I will also say that, turns out I super lied. The Eye Catcher is the ship that, they came on. It's kind of the mothership, if you will. It's the flagship. There are also 2 other ships associated with the Sea Maiden's Fair, the Hellraiser and the Hellbreaker, and they are on either side of. There is currently an active carnival that I forgot about. The Sea Maiden's Fair is like a thing that exists, that is happening now.
Like a carnival at sea?
No, the carnival is on one of the piers.
Oh, okay.
And the Hellraiser and the Hellbreaker are flanking the pier on either side.
So, do we need a dinghy to get there?
I'll say, you ask around the carnival, you ask everybody, they tell you that Captain Zord is on the Eye Catcher.
Okay.
Which is at sea.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna ask that.
Okay,
Not at
okay,
sea,
cool.
in the bay, but yes.
Right, not on the dock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will
think-
also say that this whole conversation was with somebody from either the Hellbreaker or the Hellraiser, who will say, they can set up a meeting with Captain Zord.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall we take to sea, lads?
I think it is a good idea, yes.
Yep.
Aye. Time for these boys to earn their sea legs.
So they get one of the smaller boats that they have, load you 3 onto it, as well as of course one of the people from one of the other boats who's going to be piloting the ship, piloting the boat, I mean, and they take you over to the Eye Catcher.
I
and
stand George Washington crossing the Delaware style at the prow of the ship.
yes, I require that
Yeah.
you do, actually.
Thank you.
So yeah, before long, you make your way over to the Eye Catcher, and you are, it's actually pretty spectacular the way that this works. It's almost like an arm comes off of the Eye Catcher to pick up your smaller boat, and bring it to level with the deck of the Eye Catcher.
Oh.
And then you are led over to an office where someone knocks on the door. The person leading you knocks on the door. And then the door is opened, and you see the same man that you saw in the carnival. He is dressed lavishly, flamboyantly. He is a carnival guy. He's for sure a carny.
Alistair,
Carnies.
can I roll Gaydar sense?
Please do. Make an insight
Okay,
check.
what do I add to that?
Insight.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I just need to pull up. Insight, please be a good roll. I want this to be a nat 20 so bad. I want to seduce this fancy man. Okay, that's not bad. 19.
19?
Yeah.
With a 19... He's not straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. And when he opens the door, I'd like to salute with the very firm sailor heel click salute, and
Here's
then give him a
case.
firm but slightly lingering handshake.
Okay. Yeah, he'll take your handshake. He's got a nice firm handshake. Not like squeezing or anything, but you know.
It's not a like a Trump-esque handshake competition.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
lingering. I'm feeling your handshake.
Yes. Says, welcome to the Eye Catcher.
Wonderful
brings
to be
you aboard?
aboard. The name's Captain Whalewash, and these are my two friends.
It is wonderful to meet you.
Truly an honor. I have been quite a fan of yours for some time, and it is truly spectacular to meet you in person, Captain.
Always wonderful to meet a fan. I presume you've taken part on the festival grounds already?
Hey, both the festival and your naval exploits I am a fan of. Good to see another seaman, and I wink when I say seaman.
Oh my god!
Make a persuasion check.
Do I get advantage because I am playing another person?
No.
Damn it!
He's convinced of who you are.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair. Persuasion +3, or +5, okay. Fuck, that's a 10.
He'll chuckle a little bit, and then say, what brings you aboard?
Allow my friends to answer that, and I sit down, just kind of like cross-legged looking at him.
Okay.
Shay doesn't know how to flirt. Neither does he, especially Shay.
Yeah.
Matilda, still blushing and cringing, comes on up to the captain and says, "Hello. We are very happy that you agreed to meet with us, and very flattered. We also, though, are coming to you for some advice and perhaps some insight onto something that has happened on the land. Yes, it was yesterday, right? The fireball?
Yes, it was yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning, something that has happened locally in our residential area.
How can I help?
Yes, if you would, if this is okay?
Of course.
Okay. So what happened is that a very an acquaintance of ours was struck by a fireball, and lots of people were injured in the incident, and we're trying to get to the bottom of it. Now, what we do know is that people reported seeing a oh my gosh, what are they called? A
Nimblewright.
A Nimblewright, who had a necklace of a fireball necklace, and also he had like a cape on and a red hat with a feather on it, and we were told that maybe you know to whom this Nimblewright belongs and why he did that.
Well, I can check my records of sales, but first, do you know why this attack was made? A Nimblewright wouldn't do this on its own.
Matilda's gonna look at Ren questioningly, whether or not to answer that question.
I think that's what we're trying to figure out, and I think reviewing your sale documents would be able to get that going.
Make a deception check.
Can I cast guidance on myself?
Sure.
Because otherwise I'm gonna roll a 2 again. Alright, guys.
Though.
Pray. Fuck. I have not rolled above a 10 today.
Yeah, it's been a bummer.
So an 11.
An 11. At 11, he's gonna say, I will retrieve the records of sale and be right back. And he disappears back into the cabin that he came from. After about 30 seconds, he comes back with a book. Oh, what was the description of this nimble right again?
He had a cape and a red hat with a feather. He's very fancy. And he had a mustache as well. And also, the thing that is most unusual is that he had a necklace, a fireball necklace. But I do not know if that is relevant to you.
This facial hair, a Van Dyke beard?
Please describe a Van Dyke beard to me.
Sharp mustache, sharp beard, curled mustache.
Is that what I remember?
Yes.
Yes, that is the one.
Yes. It looks like that particular nimblewright was sold to the Growlins.
The Growlins. Have I ever heard that name before?
No, but Shay has.
Oh. Porquet?
Who'd you steal the ring from?
Oh. The lady?
Yep,
The lady in the flowy dress who was watching the carnival?
that was Lady Growland.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
Alistair, just as like a for DMing wise, I'm not taking very good notes. Is it
That's fine.
bothers? Okay. Hey, we know Lady Growland. We've had a meeting before. We appreciate your help.
I'm glad to help in any way.
Can I also... So, first of all, question, did I notice that, Ren, did I pick up on the exchange between Ren lying to him and not doing super well? Did he look like he believed him?
Make an insight check.
Insight, okay. And then I have another follow-up question. That is a 10?
Seemed like he believed him.
Okay. And then my second question is, do I think that he's telling the truth about Lady Growlin?
I actually had the same question. Could I roll insight?
He shows you the book. He shows you the record that says, a nimblewright fitting that description was sold to Lady Growland. Are you asking if...
I'm asking if because I think that maybe it's possible that he has two ledgers, one that he shows to people and one that is private. So I suppose that...
Make another insight check.
Okay. But Shay, did you say that you wanted to do that too?
Yeah, I had the same question.
Okay, because I think that your insight is better than mine. So if one of us is gonna roll it, mine is mine is +2 actually.
Insight. I have +2 as well. I guess you can roll. Just give you the help action ? Andrew.
No.
Okay.
It would be the help action if you were openly
We do have that
conferring
point
and
of
talking about
inspiration.
whether or not you think he's lying right in front of him.
Yeah.
You do have
That's
a
true.
point of inspiration,
We
though.
do.
We haven't used that at all.
We
Yeah.
have never ever used one.
I'll roll and then maybe we decide if we use it on this or not. Because I mean, it's not that serious. I'm just kind of curious.
This is like, y'all,
It's laughable.
This is crazy.
y'all.
Are you going to use inspiration?
What does everyone think? Should I?
I think we're yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
How close are we to wrapping up?
Pretty close.
Okay. In that
Yeah.
case, yeah. Okay, I'll use it.
Go ahead.
Ooh, not 20.
Okay. With a nat 20,
22 total, by the way.
nat 20, 22 total. He's being upfront that that nimblewright was sold to Lady Growland. That's absolutely true.
Okay. Very good.
I will also say that you pick up on
For sure, so.
With that roll, I'm gonna say that you can probably deduce that he did pick up on Ren lying,
Mm-hmm.
and has his own plans to do things about it.
Mm.
He's interested in what's happening as well.
Ah, okay.
I'd like to message the other two and say, should I cast Charm Person on this guy?
So, I'm gonna message. Is there a text limit?
You can respond. You can respond to messages.
Yes. Is there a limit on how much I can say?
Let me check the wording.
Is it 25? Because I think sending is like 25 words or something like that.
Message, no, no limit on length.
I think it has a duration of 1 round, so 6 seconds.
Okay. I'm gonna just tell Shay what I know, that that he knows that something's up, and he is interested in what's up, and that casting Charm Person would be very helpful in making sure that he stays on our side.
The only thing with that is, though, it does only last an hour.
And then they know that
If
they're charmed afterwards, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
is the thing.
Yeah.
I could. Yeah.
Mm.
Charm Person, Wisdom saving throw, charm creature.
Yes.
I have to go deal with the thing, and I'm back, and we're charming people.
I don't think
We're considering charming this
Yeah.
guy.
I mean, I don't want him to realize that he was charmed and then get pissed off, though.
Yeah.
Why,
I could
why,
also.
why do we plan on charming him?
Oh, because
He realized you were lying.
Yeah. He not only did he realize you were lying, but I also deduced from my one good roll of the day that he is interested in what we are investigating, and he might have a stake in it now as well, and he might want to get in on this action in some way that might, I don't know, down the road inhibit us.
Another option is I have very good deception. So I could throw him off the scent. I don't know how exactly, but that is another option that would be less obvious. And he knows one of us lied already, so if another one does, not the end of the world.
I can try to be the one who lies, though, because if it doesn't go well, like since you're trying to seduce him, I don't want you to lie and then it not work, and then he's less likely to be seduced by you.
Well, the seduction is just kind of a side bit, like my tormenting of Volo.
Yeah.
It's not the end all be all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that should take priority, is just making sure we have less opposition.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if you want to go for it, then I'm down with that.
Okay. Would you mind giving me a sec to think of what exactly Shay would say? Or do you just spit off the cuff?
You can take a few seconds, sure.
Okay.
I will also say, though, that in the future I'm going to enforce much more the fact that casting spells, including message, often has visual cues. It's clear to the people around you that you are casting a spell.
Okay. That's fair. For that, it says I whisper. Is that something I would be able to roll, like in the future, I'd be able to roll stealth for, so they wouldn't notice,
so message,
and then...
message says you whisper. It also says that only the target hears you whisper. The verbal component of message is not something that I would be rolling for. It also message, if you see, it says VSM.
Yeah.
That means verbal somatic material.
Yeah.
Verbal component somatic. You use your hands. You make some sort of magical hand motions to cast it. Material means you need, some
a piece of copper wire.
Or yeah.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. Yeah. I think I'll just go with flat deception then. As I said, we talked to the lady Growlin before, and well, we wanted to talk to you because she's having some problems. Clearly, there might be some sort of misfiring with this robot, and we're just trying to get to the bottom of it. That's to be clear with you. That's why we're asking these questions.
Make a deception check.
All right. Good thing I have expertise in deception. And that is an 18.
Woo.
He says, "Understood. Thank you for bringing it to my attention as well."
Hey, I thought you might want to keep your robots in line and up to your high-end, excellent standards, Captain.
We would also appreciate any discretion in this matter. It is, as you understand, a very delicate situation we are dealing with, and if we could keep this between only ourselves, it would be helpful. I think a mutually beneficial for everyone involved.
Could I add something to that?
Okay.
It's best to keep our wealthy families looking as good as possible. Praise Seamorph.
Seamorph.
Praise Seamorph.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Hell yeah, dude.
Woo!
Look at you using world lore to sway
Actually
the
wrote
mood.
stuff down. I'm not just doing silly stuff anymore. I'm multifaceted. Fuck yeah, it's 24.
He says, "Yes, agreed."
Very good.
Well, unless my friends have anything else, I think that's all we can ask from you, sir.
Well, it was wonderful to meet you.
Truly an honor. And if you ever interest getting to know the city with someone, I know a wonderful little pub up to the north, and I would be delighted for an evening of your company.
What is this pub called?
Oh my god, what is it called?
Lifts.
Lifts.
What?
Lift's Ghost.
Lift's
Lift's
Ghost, yeah.
Ghost. They have
L-I-F.
wonderful Lift's Ghost. Wonderful atmosphere, and undiscovered, but so much potential.
I will be sure to swing by. Thank you.
Because he has seen Ren and myself, I'm gonna chime in and say that we are there very often.
Okay.
Just so if he runs into us there, he's not like sus about it.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Fuck. If you happen to be there and wish to partake in my company, send for the there is a half-elf named Shay. They will be able to get to me. Get a message to me that you are there.
I look forward to it.
Wonderful. I salute, another lingering handshake, and then I heel click and about turn.
All right. Yeah, you guys get back on the boat. Captain Zord goes back into his little study, and you guys make it back to the pier.
I think what I would like to do next is go back to the tavern and look at the books that we got from Amalia. If this is agreeable to everybody else.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
I think that would be good for me too. Shay is vibrating. They had such a good day. Their kids stole, and now they have a potential date with a blind sailor. Wow.
Yeah, Shay's killing it.
Yeah.
Shay is killing it. It's because I'm rolling actual dice, not the ones on the thing.
Yeah. It hasn't been great for us. I mean, I got the one.
Certainly
I got
not.
the one.
All right. So yeah, you get back to Lip's Ghost. You guys are looking through those books now.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm gonna do. And if you would like me to do that as a downtime activity during the long rest, I'll just do that.
I'll say that you can get a pretty good browsing of them today. The relevant sections aren't too large, and there's not a whole bunch of necessary information in the Grand Game book. So, basically, what you learn about the Stone of Galore is that it's powerful. It, of course, like all artifacts in this book, it is said to be older than this world itself.
Mm.
Because of that, it has certain powers that cannot be replicated by other magic. And one of those, its primary use is to. It also has a relation to aboleths, if any of you know what aboleths are. Um, and it is used. Oh, it also has an image of the stone, which I will send to you guys after the session. And it says that the stone, its primary use is that, first of all, it just knows shit. This is a sentient magic item.
Oh wow.
And you can ask it stuff, and it will use. It just uses its knowledge and magical knowledge of things. Game terms, you can cast Legend Lore with it.
Oh.
Ooh.
And also, its primary use, though, and what makes it such a powerful artifact, is that if you have other artifacts of Galore, you can perform a ritual with it that essentially wipes everybody's memory of a specific thing.
Ooh.
And when I say everybody, I mean everybody's memory. Lady Castellander probably would have specified to you that the current working theory is that Lord Neverember used this to make sure no one knew where his vault was. In the specifics of the Stone of Galore, it also says that if you are attuned to it, you can. There are certain ways to extract the information that it has erased.
Oh shit.
Alistair,
Yes.
is it my earring
Is
that
it
I
your
bought
earring?
from the earring I bought from the gnome that I stabbed through my earlobe?
Is that the
Yeah,
the
is that
Stone of Galore?
yeah.
No.
It was worth a hey, don't come at me. It was worth a try.
In fact, she says they believe Dalekar was carrying the Stone
Yeah,
of
they
Galore.
said that earlier.
Yeah.
Which is why it's
I
a big
bought it
deal.
from a
'cause
gnome,
it's-
so again, not a long shot.
Sure.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of a brief of what the Stone of Galore does.
Okay.
Did we get any books on the cult? The cult of Asmodeus? Yeah, it was Asmodeus, right?
Yeah, it was.
It was, but you did not.
Okay.
Okay. Can I do like a history check to see if there's anything, or would I just not know about them?
Make a history check.
Okay. History. I don't. Not bad. 14.
With a 14, I mean, you've heard of various cults of Asmodeus. Obviously, they're a thing that
Sure.
exist. Yeah, they do shitty stuff like that. So,
Cool.
Some people be shitty.
It'd be like that sometimes.
although these were rich people, eat the rich.
Yeah. Them and their stupid god. The last thing that I can think to do at the moment is can I do an Arcana check on our kids to make sure nothing happened to them? Because I am suspicious that they invited over street urchins.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. That's a 7. Nat 1.
They seem fine.
Okay.
All right. Anything else that you guys want to do before the sleep?
Sleep.
I think we've had a pretty full day.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, that is the end of the session. That's all that I have prepared for you today.
Okay.
Look
Hell
at
yeah.
us.
Thank
Look
you.
at
We did good.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
did.
Kind of.
You
Interesting.
did so
rolls
much
were
stuff.
garbage.
You're part of a grand game now. Oh my
I
goodness.
know.
I was waiting for the moment when like the big story would start. I was like, we've been doing these small jobs. When's the big thing gonna
Yeah.
start?
Mhm.
And I was like, when are these potions and rings? When is all this shit gonna come into play? Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right. Well, I will see you guys next time.
Yeah.
Also, you used your inspiration today.
We did!
Yay!
Yay! It
We
actually
did it.
paid
I was
off.
thinking about it last night, and I was like, we've not used that yet. And
Are
we're
we
gonna use
doing-
it today?
By the way, are we doing the same time next week?
If that works for everyone.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Should.
Cool.
I don't have work next week. I have rehearsal, but I think that starts at 6, so I can go later than normal.
I
Okay.
have to be somewhere at like 5. So I'd want to be done by 5 just because I have to teach.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Work.
Cool.
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 All right.
It's been
beans.
lovely.
I'll see you guys then.
I'll see you.
ya.
Ciao.
Bye. Okay. Cool, 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 cool. So, now that we're all wrapped up, thank you everyone who came to my stream. Oh, also, to my babies. Hello, babies. Jackson Crim, say hi. For those of you who redeemed the say hi to my cat reward. There's that. So, yeah, thank you all for coming. I'm going to leave you with somebody else. Who can we raid today? Let's see. All right, we've got a buddy online, Usagi Yokai, doing some art, doing an art stream. I'm going to leave you with them. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Crim, of course, as always. Thank you, Super Kawaii Desi Princess. Thank you, Drax, if you are still here. Let's see, did I miss anybody? I think those are all of my buddies. And thank you to all my friends who are here, who are just lurking around. It is so nice to see you and have you in the stream as always. And yeah, thank you for joining me. Let's start a raid party. Okay, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. And thank you, Super Kawaii Disney Princess, for the sub. I can't wait to see your post in the Discord. All right, here we go. Yes, baby. Okay, bye-bye.